He's like, aren't you on social media? And I'm like, yeah, but no, not really. I try not to be.
That sounds like my mom on Facebook. Did you see so and so posted? No. I don't even go on it. I don't even scroll.
All right, everybody. We are getting started. We are live here. Welcome to an all-new episode of Marvel Cinematic Review. I'm just gonna call this. I don't even know what this episode's called. I don't care. I'm calling it everyone's favorite uncle. That's the name of this episode. Forget Uncle Jesse in Full House. Forget, rest in peace, but forget Uncle Phil over in Fresh Prince. There's a new uncle in town, and it's the only uncle that matters. Okay?
Would you say
my own uncle?
He's getting canceled.
Doesn't exist to me anymore.
Would you say the king is back?
I would even say that, Tia. I would even say that. You know, part of me feels icky about that because, you know, there's other forms of kings I associate with. But you know what, Tia? For this, the king is back. All hail the king, okay? No,
I wasn't gonna go that far.
I'll say it, Tia. That's why I'm here. But no, this was a great episode 5. For me personally, it wasn't my favorite, only because I feel a lot was rushed. Like a lot was just like, episode 6 is next week, so here. And then it's just like, all right, end of the episode. So I was just like, oh, all right, okay. Maybe you should have given yourself an episode 7. But let me introduce my panel, and then we're gonna go right into it. We're not even gonna tippy-toe. Starting off with Trayvon. What's up, Trayvon?
Everybody, happy to be here. Let's ready to talk about this okay episode.
Okay. I was wondering where you were going. I'm like, what is he about to say? Next up, he's already ready for tomorrow, and you can tell by the shirt. What's up, Prime? How you doing, Prime?
It's all good. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready. Happy to be here. Let's get it.
Absolutely. Another person who by their shirt is ready for today and partially for tomorrow, but mainly today because of that little Avengers scene we got. Joe, what's up, Joe?
What's up? I'm 100% ready for tomorrow. 100%. But yeah, no, it was a good episode. It was. So I'm ready.
Absolutely. Tia, what's up, Tia? This was a huge crowning moment for you. I feel as though Tia's been waiting for this day since Daredevil had its final scene. What was it in not the restaurant? Was it Foggy's uncle's restaurant or
yeah. Nelson and Murdoch.
Yeah. So since that moment, Tia has been sitting here with a rifle pointed at Kevin Feige, like, you better do it now, Kevin. So we're finally here, Tia. So first of all, welcome, but I know this has got to be like a great moment for you.
Listen, not even getting into that just yet. I eat my words, man. I really enjoy Hawkeye. Like the series, I think it's really good. I loved seeing Yelena. I'm sorry, she's so awesome. I know we're gonna get into it, but like her outfit, her attitude, I love her interactions with Kate. So that was amazing. And yes, of course, I mean, you know, we obviously got confirmation from Kevin Feige that Charlie Cox is coming back, right? But it's like maybe there was that slight like, well, who else? Maybe other people won't come back. And it's like as soon as you saw that picture, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
automatically
yes.
Like, and being able to see Vincent D'Onofrio in the end credits, it's just like it's so beautiful.
Yeah. You know what? Let's stop tiptoeing around it. We knew from the moment those big ass footsteps came a walking. The cheeks was a pinching. We knew. What was that?
We hoped for.
That was episode 2 or 3.
That was episode 3.
Yeah. As soon as that happened, it was like
that was 3. It was episode 3.
Yeah.
No, Feige wasn't gonna pull another with Trayvon.
I don't know. I mean,
he wasn't gonna pull another brown boner. He wasn't gonna do that.
No.
Until I saw his name in the credits, I almost thought he did it. That picture wasn't clear enough for me. I was like, okay. Okay.
Listen,
my blind cousin knew it was
Like,
No.
listen, I was
Y'all keep
I was
justifying
still
you.
I was still skeptical in episode 3, right? I knew all you guys were like, that's Vincent D'Onofrio's laugh. And I was like, until I see his face, I'm not gonna say anything
It's still
because
his
that could
face,
just be
yeah.
another. I was like, that could still be another dude, right? As soon as I saw that picture, and as soon as I saw the name, I was like,
Okay.
I do want to say,
Beautiful,
if I go
beautiful.
into introducing Joelle, I do want to say Yelena maybe should have asked her friend at the beginning of the episode for some money, because I don't know what phone carrier Yelena has, but I know it had to be the worst kind to be that shitty of quality. Like, the only thing clear in that picture was her mother. Like, that was the
It
only
has
thing
to
I could
be-
distinctively look at and go, well, that's clearly her mom. The other one was just like, yeah, that is Wilson Fisk, but goddamn, you could have got a better picture.
It-
Like,
it
where are you
has to-
taking it from?
It has to be.
That's what I want to know. Like,
Assurance Mobile.
what was that?
It can't even be that. It has to be some weird Russian cell service that, like, is like, the good reception for phones is only reserved for like the elite of Russia, and the poor of Russia gets that horrible. So it just was bad, man. But
Probably doesn't care about technology, maybe.
The thing is, though, it's not even a photo; it's a video.
Yeah, it's a video.
it is a video. That does make it
So
even worse.
what I think, I originally just thought it was a photo, right? But going back and looking at it, I'm wondering if that was like, because my first question was, where is she, in a tree? Like, how did she get this picture? But it could have been that she hacked the security system or whatever building she was in.
It could have been, but we also can assume how she got that footage.
Wow.
The last thing we see of Yelena is her looking up, like, I think I can get up there. So I'm assuming she was just like, all right, rappel I go. Like, and she's just like hanging weirdly, just recording it. Like, that video probably doesn't even have sound. It's probably literally just them just moving their lips. That's probably all that is.
She has her ways.
That is possible. But Joelle, what's going on, man? You got your Spider-Man Knicks hat representing both the Knicks and Spidey. So you're excited for tomorrow, I see.
Always repping. Because I'll be definitely ready for tomorrow. After today, this was like an appetizer. And tomorrow is the main course, right? Mm-hmm. So this was just the beginning. And look, we've been sitting there forever waiting for this moment, and we got confirmation. Like Katia was saying, as soon as it happened, I was like, "That's all I needed." Like the smile in my heart, like it just like, that was it, man. That was a great way to end the scene. Even though I wish it was like actually him and not like a video of him, especially a grainy video.
But as you said, it's a little like appetizer. Can I throw something out really quick? And I don't mean to interrupt. I love that Clint Barton, right, has literally fought against aliens, robots, a plethora of beings with powers. But he goes, this is the one I was worried about, Kingpin. And it's like, it just goes to show you, he's just a man, but it's the power that Wilson Fisk has, and it's like, it's so appropriate. And I know that's the character in general, but it just feels so appropriate for Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk.
100%. 100%. And welcoming in Jamie. What's up, Jamie?
Hey, what's up? I'm very excited to hear what you guys have to say about this episode. I was much more pleased with this one than I was with the last one. So yeah, I'm really excited to talk about this.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. So let's jump right into it. First thing I want to say, and then I'm going to pass this on. I just want to give so much credit to Florence as Yelena. I'm starting to feel as though she has etched herself in one of those roles that I look at and I go, no one else could do this. No one else could be just this flawless. Catching the hot sauce and just saying hello, and then just going through a complete mental, how would I say it? A deception to Kate, to where she's literally interrogating her and Kate not even noticing it till like towards the end, to where she's like, are you just here to talk to Hawkeye? And it's like, did you miss the whole roof scene? Did you hear me speak? Like, am I here to talk? No, I'm gonna kill him. Like, what did you miss something?
She was like, no, but also too, she's like, are you just saying my full name to kind of let me know that you know everything about me, or you have stuff on me? Right. And then she's like, yeah. exactly. And then she starts listing all the stuff she knows about her, which was crazy.
Which I found funny because if you ever watch any comedy with someone foreign, especially from Russia, that's just how they talk. Like they'll say the LeBron James. Like instead of just saying LeBron, knowing that we understand who the person is, they'll continuously say the full name. And after a while, it's like, bro, I get it. I understand. You know, the LeBron James of basketball. I get it. We understand here in America. So I did think that was
right. The flopper?
Did think that was the flopper. Yeah, the flopper. I know that guy.
Yeah,
So I did 100% appreciate that, but I'm gonna pass it to Prime first. But Florence Pugh, first thing I need you to do is go call up Elizabeth Olsen and say, hey, you know this whole Russian thing you've been trying to sound like? I got you. Don't worry. Whoever your vocal coach was, fire. I got you. This is what it sounds like. Because that's flawless fucking Russian. And the fact that she stays in the lane so heavily to where it doesn't break at all. And it's just like, God damn, that's heavy. Is she Russian? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I really did appreciate that. Especially when you go back and think about the Black Widow movie and her and Natasha's conversations where you hear Natasha so fluent in one lane and then her so fluent in the other. And it's just like, yes, that the balance of that just sounds so perfect. But Prime, I'm going to start off with you, man. What were your thoughts on this crazy episode 5?
So I hurried to get home, and I just literally stopped watching it like just before we jumped on. So everything is still just kind of fresh in my head. But I thought it was pretty good. I really thought it was pretty good. Being able to see what happened, you know, the post-credit the post-credit scenes with Black Widow, you know, after we saw a little bit of before there, raised a bunch of questions, because the first thing I thought of, and I don't know if anybody else thought about this, but did Widow, it instantly made me think about, was one of the real reasons that she, you know, sacrificed herself was to bring her sister back.
Yeah.
You know, that really, as soon as I saw that, I was like, well, I wonder. What else was it? The scene where they were, was it Yelena and Sonya were breaking into, what is it? Is it Anna? I think it was breaking into Anna's, you know, space right there. Was pretty. Yes, estate. It was pretty dope. You know, we find out from her she's been making a pretty, you know, darn good living. Yeah. Basically being an assassin for hire. You know,
I like that a lot because I felt as though that was. I get what they were doing, but it was also female liberation because I loved how she's like, "Oh, you think this is some man's place that's like swindling me?" And it's like, "Hell no, this is mine. How'd you get it? Why did you killed a lot of people?" It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I didn't think of that. That makes sense. Okay, all right, I got you. So I completely love that scene to where she's just like, "Oh, you think a man did all this? No, this is mine. This is me. I did this." I appreciated that.
Yeah, and I wonder if anything else, you know, she gets tied into anything else at some point, basically over things that she's done or people she's worked for. I don't know if she ever ties back into this, but I thought that was pretty cool. I love the fact that we got to see Yelena, that we know now that she really loves mac and cheese, really. And not sriracha, hot sauce or whatever. She's just crazy about that. There was even a nod back to her father on that about her eating. We got to see Echo being even more of a badass, even in her fight with Ronan. And she held her own. I mean, of course, we know Ronan probably held back too because he never intended to kill her.
He wasn't trying to kill her.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to kill her there, but we got to see that. Love the playing of Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC. Yes. When the guys were riding out in that what was the name of the moving company? Was Joe Brothers?
Trust a Bro.
But yeah, Trust a Bro. That was crazy. Trust a Bro.
Which that song is also another nod to Die Hard, by the way.
Indeed. And then all the other questions I just mentioned to Anna. You know, we don't know if there's anything else going to pop up with her, but now we have questions really about the swordsman, because the look that he had on his face when he was being taken out was a little different. You know, I don't know, worked in my mind. I don't know. We're going to clear this up. Like, does he know anything or doesn't he? Yeah. You know, I mean, that you know, that's a big question. Echo. I'll go back to Echo again. I doubt we'll see we're pretty sure we won't see anything with Charlie Cox in this one, but we all know her ties to Daredevil. I mean, they were against each other, then dated, and all types of stuff. Especially found out about her about to be being set up, and who actually really killed her father. So, but overall, like I said, I just watched everything just before we got on here, so I haven't really gotten a chance to take everything in, other than the questions that first popped up, and the end towards the end when they did play "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch."
I love that.
Kingpin. Okay. That kind of tied together real well. But from what I was able to gather in in haste before jumping on, I thought it was a pretty good episode.
Yeah, 100%. And I did want to speak to one thing you were talking about, and then I'm going to get to our comment section before I pass it on. So Fisk had his cane in that video.
Mm-hmm.
Now, part of me is like, they better tie this to season 3 of Daredevil, only because I want it to be that Matt whooping his ass is why he needs that cane. That altercation that they had with Matt put the ringer.
That would be so great because, all the rumors of like, oh, even though they're bringing these actors back, they're essentially going to be rebooted and X, Y, and Z. So it's like, and I understand a few things you have to retcon, but if at least they have that, it's like, then that at least they're following a little bit of what they already introduced in the Netflix series. That would be really cool. I didn't even think about that.
And I know, excuse me, and I know a lot of people have the mindset of, they're opposed, they're rivals, so you don't want your audience to have to go back to Netflix to watch it all over. The quickest way to dispel that is the biggest moments from Daredevil season 3, just make flashbacks in whatever is the next time we see Daredevil, or if Wilson Fisk is the big bad in Echo, give us some flashbacks where you're obviously recreating it. It's not the exact footage from Netflix. You're just recreating it on your own. The concept is what's the same.
Okay.
Would you say, Trayvon?
They probably can't use it anyway.
No, they can't. But that's what I'm saying. Just recreate it. Put your little spin on it, but recreate it. I also thought it was interesting that we now know, well, not now, but we knew this before, but it didn't really dawn on me till I saw this episode where Yelena disappeared, that Fisk never disappeared during the blip. Fisk was here. So I'm very curious how Fisk was building his operation.
Gives him 5 whole years.
Yeah, that's 5 full years of Fisk just going, well, it's not really many Avengers here or anyone really to stop me. So, or
any crime bosses or anything for him to.
We don't know. I mean, shit. Whatever crime bosses were left, Clint was just like, "All right, you're dead. You're dead. You're dead." So Fisk was just like, "Oh hell yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, all right. New York's mine. Like he's over there in China somewhere. I'll take this."
Hey, one more thing too. You can add Kazi to the list as well. As far as what does he know? What doesn't he know? Like, what do we really know about him? Especially after Echo raised that question about why he didn't come to the meeting. So
100%.
You got a whole lot of stuff now that needs to be answered.
Because when Clint said that, the first thing I thought was, because this is why Juwan is super stupid. When he said that to her, I'm like, all right, well, who could that have been? Because she was like so young. And then it dawned on me, no, she wasn't. So when she was talking to Kazi, I was just like, oh yeah, that makes 100% sense why it was Kazi. Think about it. Kazi was the first person Clint went to. First person. Didn't think to go to anybody else in the organization. Went to him. Went to him. And he had no fear of anything Kazi could do to him. Like, yeah, what? You want to do what? All right, yeah, no gun. Now what you going to do? It's like, nothing. I'm just
My only thing is, why wouldn't he say, like, your boy Kazi gave me some inside information, told me your dad was going to be there, and I took him out?
Because if you're Clint, Kazi is also you're in with Fisk. So you can get as much information out of Kazi as you want before you have to completely get rid of that limit. You want to squeeze as much out of him before you have to go, all right, there's nothing left of this limit.
He's kind of put Kazi on Echo's radar, though.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you're Clint, you're kind of hoping, if anything, I think Clint, this is why I thought this scene was so special, where Clint's just like, look, we're weapons that are pointed, right? But he essentially, in telling her that, just use her as a weapon, and he's pointing back towards Fisk.
Mm-hmm.
So if she does start to put things together, he's hoping she kills him. Maybe he gets a shot off at her. I can go home for Christmas. So Quinn 100% was trying to manipulate that situation. But go ahead, Trayvon.
I kind of agree with Jamie though. Like, it's why not just say Kazi? I'm gonna get to why I had problems with this episode.
No problem.
Yeah.
All right, let me get to this. Some of these comments. Yelena and Kate have so much potential on screen together. They 100% do.
Yeah.
They 100% do. And I think what I love the most out of their interaction together was how out of the loop Kate was and how fully in the loop Yelena was. To where Yelena's just like, I don't think you really know. Like, he's told you I've done bad shit, but I don't think you know how much killing he has done. Like, take Natasha out of this. He's killed a lot of people. Like, Kate's just like, what? Clint? No. Wait, did he? And it's like, yeah, he did. He did. So I do hope we get a series or a team up of them some time down the line. So where we can see Hawkeye and the Black Widow together again. Let's see what else we got here. So is Kingpin, Valentina, and Eleanor all in it together, or is Eleanor and Kingpin duo separate? Interesting. So I do think that is a web that is woven itself together. And what I mean by that is it's clear that Eleanor made the call to Val for Val to then hire someone to take out Clint. But I think the only reason Eleanor knows Valentina is through King. I don't know why I didn't. The only reason I think Eleanor knows Val is because of Fisk. I think Fisk is what connected the two. But now I've spent this whole time thinking, well, clearly Val is working for either Norman Osborn down the line, or she's working for General Ross. Now I'm thinking, could she be building something for Fisk? And Fisk is using this gaping hole of a power vacuum to just wiggle his way right in. I think Fisk could be seen as soon as Armor Wars. We could see him in Armor Wars. There's no way Armor Wars happens and Fisk is nowhere to be seen. I can't see it. I can't see it at all.
There's only one problem though with continuity, and that was the first thing I looked up because I knew something seemed off when we got the fact that Yelena blipped, and then the end of Black Widow. So the end of Black Widow, when she meets up with Val, is in October, and this show is set in December. There's no way Val could have made that call to Valentina. I'm sorry, Eleanor made that call to Valentina because that was October.
No, you talking about when Val was talking to
Yelena.
There was no specific date on that. And I always say MCU is never flawless in their timeline. It's always like a month off, a week off, but they're just telling us, don't worry about that. They tell us that all the time. Feige's even said that. Yeah, sometimes it's a little fishy, but whatever. But the whole point was
stuff got a
continuity error, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. This stuff has to line up, man. Not at this point, no.
And also, too, really quick. And I just want to say it because we're talking about that specific thing. It just seemed like when she met up with Val, she was visiting the grave. She was taking care of the dog and stuff like that. It seemed like she was established for a little bit longer than just a month and a half. Yeah. Like things were seemed a little rushed from the end of Black Widow.
No, but who was established? Who you saying was established?
Yelena.
Like established is what? Is working
like
from
coming back from the blip.
Like settled.
Yeah. Like she's got clothes, she's got a place to stay, like things like that.
It seems very rushed.
You guys aren't wrong. I'm just telling you, they don't care about that.
No,
they're
of course.
Telling you, just connect the dots.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. I think they're just telling you, just connect the dots. Yes. Does it seem wonky? For sure. 100%. But I don't think they want us to care all that much. They're just like, connect the dots. You get it. Phone call was made. She was hired. Bada bing, bada boom. Done.
All within a similar time frame. That's all.
Right.
They're not giving you specific.
Not that far from each other. Right. It's not that.
There's obviously time between her coming back from the blip and that time with Val. There's obviously been a period of time between that, you know.
Right.
Mhm.
But also,
It wasn't
again,
like the next day. Shit.
again, I think Joe, I think you're connecting a time when you shouldn't, because remember, the last thing we saw before the episode starts is her going, I'm going to go talk to Natasha. And then it's kind of like, well, what's wrong? Like, are you insinuating something's wrong? So it's very possible that her next step, once figuring things out, was to go visit the gravesite of her sister. So I'm saying it doesn't mean that whole timeline is as rushed as you're making it. Because we also don't know the time between literally the end of when Natasha leaves her and then from when she actually comes back from the blip and then goes to that gravesite to have that conversation. There's gaps in that. And I'm just saying we don't have to look too deep into those gaps. I think they'll fill themselves in by this next episode. It'll start to fill itself in.
I hope so.
But it's meant to be concurrent. It's meant to be concurrent. Like Eleanor made the call, then that's when we see that scene. Then that's when she finds out where Clint is. It's supposed to go concurrent like that.
I'm sorry. I made a complete mistake. That's why I said it was rushed. Not the events of the end of Black Widow. When people come back from the snap, from the blip, from Hulk snap, that was October 2023. That's what I'm saying. This is way too rushed. If she came back from the blip in October of 2023, so she could have met Val, and there could have been the conversation was made in December when she meets Val. But I'm just saying it just feels like a little too rushed. That's all.
But I'm saying we don't know. Again, she was bundled up like it was cold as hell. So it's a gap of where it could have been. Of where that
it was October to December. It's been what, 3 months?
Right. Yeah.
I still say it was autumn because I think what was there? Ohio?
What?
I think the gravesite was like Ohio or something like that. You know, it is it's somewhere in Ohio, I think is where
I think so.
Where her gravesite is?
Right, but like October and then December that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
no, I know it's a couple of months, but it just still seems rushed. That's all.
If we focus too much, it seems rushed.
Oh, I focus.
If we accept it makes sense of it being concurrent.
I just don't see what it's like. There's enough time for that to be plausible. It's only an issue when it's not plausible anymore.
Right.
Now, like you want to talk about enough time.
Now, if you want to talk about a timeline issue, the timeline issue, and again, this wasn't confirmed or anything. It was just more so of a joke. But Feige and Tom Holland laughing at the idea of Peter being the kid that Stark saves in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
That's a gaping timeline issue. That's something way more glaring. Of a month and a half difference, I could accept that. More than you telling me this kid was 8 back in 2008? How old would that make him now? Like, how old are you trying to say that kid was? Say it again.
From 2008 to 2024?
Yeah.
And not including because he got
track 5 years.
Not including that, right?
You got to play assumptions, yeah. So
yeah.
Well, how old is he supposed to be? 18? It's not even. He's 16, right?
I think so.
Wait, what was the question?
17.
What was the question? I'm sorry. What was the question?
No. We don't need to go down that.
Basically, if the kid was 8 during Iron Man 2, and how old is he now? Before the blip, I guess.
Right.
Which was what 2018.
18.
So
2018 and 2010.
9 years.
Right. Iron Man 2 was what?
That adds up to me.
What's the date of Iron Man 2? I know.
No. But Joel, you have to remember, we're going from 08 to Civil War.
Civil War. How old is he?
Time we see Tom.
Well, I'm saying, how old is he there?
2016.
I think he's supposed to be 16. I think he's supposed to be 16.
And what year was Civil War?
2016, wasn't it?
Was it 2016?
It's
kind of works.
Okay. All right. Well, then there you go. All right. All right. I think that's all the comments we got. We can move on.
They did fuck up the timeline in Spider-Man Homecoming, though.
They did. Yeah, they did.
Eleanor's phone call isn't necessarily before the Val meeting with Yelena. Could have already happened. Yelena didn't know where he was until Eleanor called concerned. We will find out. Right. I mean, there's, again, these Disney Plus shows have left a few, like, some corners on the bread, but they've done a really good job of cleaning up what needs to be cleaned up. So this will either be swept under the bed or this will be rectified very, very smoothly heading into the next episode. But again, they wouldn't have put that as an end credit scene knowing Hawkeye was coming out when it did, if there was supposed to be such a huge gap in the timeline when it happened.
I do know that it was supposed to be 2024 when that took place, but they keep hiding the year now to keep it ambiguous. It was supposed to be like a year later.
As they should, because look at the problem we're talking about right now.
And
So
it's obviously, and there was a nugget, I think, during the conversation between Yelena and Kate, where they mentioned the new Statue of Liberty. So this probably takes place after Spider-Man. So like, interesting.
But that's why I always said Feige did acknowledge that in an interview once, where he's like, I do hear you guys about the timeline, and it's why going forward you might hear dates, you might not hear dates, just so I can keep it to where if I need to clean it, I can clean it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because again,
they still haven't given us the date technically on when that is.
Right, because like again, we keep forgetting what we're about to all see tomorrow wasn't supposed to be that movie. That's a prime example of Feige saying, I don't want to hold myself to something specific. Then something crazy happens, and it's so hard to fix it. So that's what I'm saying. He's admitted to it, so he understands. All right, Joel, I want to go to you, man. What were your thoughts on this episode?
It was good. I mean, look, Yelena like stole it for me. Like so that whole conversation, it was a little longer than I probably care for, but it was still but I still enjoyed the conversation between the two of them. I loved the dynamic between the two of them already. She just already, like, even though she was being very funny, and that whole scene was funny between the two of them, I was frightened. she played it off really threatening too at the same time. Like she was not like, I can kill you whenever I feel like. You cannot touch. Basically, she was mad cocky that whole time. They were sitting down together. So I did the back and forth between the two was great. I did love the way that the show started with her because of the whole transition scene of the 5-year gap was like that.
Loved it.
I love that they do it differently. Like you saw it with the Monica and WandaVision, that was really cool. Now we're seeing it this way with Yelena. Like, that was really different. And I appreciate they give us different versions of that scene that everyone's experiencing in different ways. So I really enjoyed that. Because I loved how they got right to it. And because all the speculation, who's that blonde girl that Yelena flips in the trailer? And then it's a widow. It's a sleeper widow, right? But yeah, Yelena specifically was really good in this episode. And again, Kate and then her kind of opening her eyes, Yelena's eyes a little bit, but still not enough, to the point where she did look up who hired her. He's like, okay, good question. Why are they trying to get me to kill this man? Even though they were definitely pointing me in a certain direction where I wasn't originally, looking for it. She found out, all right, so there might be something, and now we know Eleanor is obviously a deceiving bitch, but we knew this, we've known this. And of course, the Kingpin reveal, there's so much still left to so many knots still to unravel, especially next week. We still don't know anything about the Watch.
Right.
True. That got pushed to the side a little bit this week, so it's like we'll see.
But I do love, and this is why you got to always trust in Feige and love Feige. Feige said, look, I know everybody saw the Netflix series, right? You saw it. You saw the rise of Wilson Fisk, right?
You're complaining about them characters not being in it. Yes, it's because you watched the series.
Right, exactly. So I love how he goes, we're going right to white suit. No black suit, nothing else, right to white suit. White suit and
what did I tell you?
We're pulling all the stops.
And didn't I tell you that in the little teaser that we got? I said when we see him, I want him to be in white suit.
Yep. Yeah,
I remember that.
He understood the assignment, and he was just like, I got it. But and you mentioning Eleanor, I'm starting to think that Grinch song was maybe not about Fisk. Maybe it was 100% about Eleanor. But
Eleanor's cold.
She's cold. She's cold-blooded. I'm telling you, by each episode, I'm swearing that there's gonna be some kind of twist where either Eleanor's just like, "Hey, I ain't your mama. Your real mama gone. I was just stepping.
I killed her too.
Her
and your daddy."
Because I'm telling you, the more she talks to Kate, the more she's pulling us in of this. Oh, but I just love you and I want you safe. But we all know it's more so you're in my business, and if you don't stop, I'ma kill you like I did your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it up, I'ma has to kill you. But no, I wanted to speak more to what you were saying, Joel. That conversation. It did feel like, all right, okay, all right, end it. But
Yeah,
it was just so compelling because I even loved, like you were speaking to, the simplicity of Kate saying, "Yes, I get it. You would have killed me before I even walked in the door." She's like, "Yeah, like as soon as you walked in the door,
Yeah.
like, as
Before
soon
you even
as
close the door.
I would have killed you."
That's great though, because it's like that's such a line that always gets thrown out, not even just in the Marvel universe, anything. If I really wanted you dead, you'd be dead. And I just love, like, Kate is just such this great like mouthpiece for the viewers.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
Yep.
I personally loved Yelena calling Kate out for only having one fork. It's like any of
That was
us
great.
who like first apartment out of living with your parents can relate. It's like, yes, I have one fork.
It's just me. Like, there's no one else. It's me. I'm worried about me. I'm not thinking about visitors. You bring your own forks. Two more things I want to speak about before I pass it to you, Tia. The first one is, Joel, me and you talked about this on Much Ado About Nothing, where we said it's going to be curious because we assumed Natasha had to have told Clint about her family. She just had to have. It's no way she didn't. So when you hear Kate go, her sister, and then Clint goes, "Oh, fuck, you're talking about Yelena." And it's just like, shit. Like,
he's like, "Oh, that's who it was." Oh,
that makes sense now. It makes perfect sense. Okay. So I think in that moment, Clint immediately was just like, "Widow died with me. Her sister's trying to kill me. Someone told her I killed her sister." Like, clearly that's what's going on. And I love how his face isn't even worried. It's more so just like, this day just won't get better. Like, and then they're sitting at the table. And can I just say, I love Jeremy Renner. How he delivered this to where she's just like, "Who is this with my mom?" And he's just like, "This is the guy, Kate, I've been telling you about. This guy. This is Kingpin."
But that's what I'm
my
saying.
day
It's
won't
like
get better.
it's like, bro, you literally fought against Loki, Thanos, Ultron, and it's like, no. But this guy. And I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying.
You know what it is?
He knows he can get to his family.
You also know what it is? I think Clint heard about that restaurant fiasco Fisk went through. He was
The
embarrassed
Russian.
of Vanessa, yeah, and he killed the guy in the car. I think Hawkeye heard about that and was just like, "I don't want to mess with
Yeah,
this."
anyone who can decapitate someone with a car door, you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah. And it wasn't even like an extreme embarrassment, like, "Sir, like your car didn't go through." Like, you know how like waiters say it, like really loud in front of your date? It wasn't even anything like that. And he was still like, "Just don't embarrass me ever again." Like, damn, you could have said that. You didn't have to kill me.
It's more about his family.
To piggyback off of Tia's point too, you think about, remember when he was talking to Clint was talking to Laura, and he's like, "I hid you guys and I did this," and he's like, said something to the effect, "Well, you know, you guys, I didn't hide you like far enough away or whatever." Like,
not far enough.
Yeah. Kingpin a bad dude, and they know what time it is.
Can we also give her Laura so much credit? She has not seemed overly concerned, not a once. So it's either she trusts in her skills if some shit actually goes down, or she just has the utmost faith in her husband to where he will handle it. I'm not even, because every phone call she is, like every time she talks to Clint is just stressing out of her mind, and she's just like, "It's okay, I love you, do who you need to, and I'll talk to you later." And it's just like, why are you so calm? Clint is freaking out here, and you're just like, "It's okay, do what you need to do."
Nice, he died.
Do you think in that time that he wanted her to tell him to run?
No, I'm thinking Clint was hoping that she wouldn't feed into what he wants to avoid, which is his darker side. I think he thought she would talk him
down. Yeah.
Right. And she was just like, "I'm sorry, we got 3 kids to think about. You
got to do what you got to do."
I thought it was interesting.
Hey, you know what?
It's like, I thought I married Hawkeye, not a...
Yeah, like, what? Who is this? Who's this?
What
like,
actually?
ew.
But what actually happened? And if you think about exactly what happened when he re-put the costume on. What did he do? He didn't kill anybody.
No.
He didn't go on a killing streak.
No. But
he's trying to get to.
He's saying it's feeding into his darker impulse.
No, I know, but remember you said when he was praying to Natasha, he's like, "Forgive me for what I'm about to do." So he put on the suit. And what happened when he had the suit on last? He went on.
Well, did he kill
I
any?
think you're talking about. I think you're talking about Yelena.
What?
Did he?
Go ahead, Prime.
No, did he? And I was kind of glancing at. Did he kill any of the guys?
No.
It didn't look like
Knocked
it.
them out.
No, he
didn't look like
kill
he-
anyone.
It didn't look like he killed anybody.
I think the promise that he was referring to was ever putting the suit back on because of what it does to him. So I think he was apologizing for possibly having to go back down that path.
To becoming Ronin again.
Remember,
I thought
think
about
about-
killing
think about
Yelena.
the
That's what I
last
thought
thing
he
he
did.
said to, I'm gonna go right to you, but think about the last thing he said to Echo. If you or any of you come near me or my family again, I won't hesitate to put you down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was the whole point of he had just gotten into a point where he was out of that, where he didn't have to threaten people. He didn't have to threaten murder or killing or any of that. So I think he was saying sorry to Natasha because I think the promise he made was, I won't be that again. We're gonna win. My family's gonna come back. I'm gonna be Hawkeye again, right?
Mhm.
I'm not gonna go down this path. So to put it on is always the fear of, I might have to strangle a motherfucker. I might just have to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Just
So
might
I
murder
think it
people.
was that.
It might
have to
happen.
cut a head off or two.
I think
Right,
that's
I might
kind of
have
what.
to cut someone's head off. Go ahead,
And I
Jamie.
feel like the wife would be totally okay with it. Sorry, Jamie. You got
Yeah.
She would. She 100% would. She
I kind of feel like that's what she was saying. And I thought it was interesting. I think one of the lines she said was like, I can completely relate to what you're saying. So, just do what you got to do. And I'm like, can you? So you be killing people out here? Like, what you mean by that?
she just really wants to watch her like TV shows without being interrupted. Like, honey, like
It's so popular.
She does.
yes,
She does
the
always seem
soaps
like she's
are
in
on.
the middle of something when he calls, and it's just like, hello. And again,
She is always
hi,
doing
honey.
something.
Like we've all had that moment where we see someone calling and we're just like, hi, hello, how are you? And it's just like, oh my god, hang up. But what were you saying, Trayvon? You were saying something about Yelena?
Just thought he meant, "I'm going to kill your sister." That's what I thought when he said what I have
But
to do.
he didn't know at that moment.
Yeah, at
Remember,
that moment he didn't know it was
He didn't know
Yelena.
at that moment it was Yelena. He didn't know towards the end of the episode. That was after he had the fight with Echo.
That's after the
Kate
Ronin
saved
suit.
him. Yeah.
When they were in the car.
Right.
Yeah.
That was when they were in the car.
Yeah.
She pulled up the Uber.
Right. Yes. Yes. I love how Clint's like, you got a way out of this? Uber.
How's your getaway? What's your getaway plan?
Always Uber. Always
Always
Uber.
Uber. Always Uber.
You got to get that Hawkeye copter. Kate's got to. You got to fund it, Kate. You got to put the money in. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
gotta
it's like you're rich enough. Come on.
Yeah.
bro.
And she's talking about branding. What screams branding better than a huge H helicopter?
Hawkeye is known for his sky cycle. Never got
Yeah.
it.
Like, come on, Kate, spend your money where you should be spending.
Never got the sky cycle. Poor
Never.
All right, so we got a few more questions. Now I'm passing it off to you, Tia.
Okay.
All right, someone else is asking this, and I don't know why this keeps becoming a question, but the question is, does Renner die in the next episode?
Absolutely.
Wrong
I
person.
unequivocally
That's
say
Trayvon.
Yeah, I unequivocally say no. There's just it's not even. It never felt like that. Like they're leading up to, does he survive? It's just more so, will he make it Christmas Day? And I think the way they're building it is that it's gonna seem like, damn, it's Christmas night. Dad's not here, and then boom, Dad walks through the door. Everybody's gifts in hand, like Santa freaking Claus. We have a nice ending. He just retires.
Or
And then
if
the
you
house
wanna
blows
end-
up.
Or if you want to end it like super sad, it's Kate there at the door, and Laura's just like, "Where is he?" And she's just holding his bow and arrow so sadly. I tried.
Can I just say this?
no.
Can I say this? This episode is coming out right before Christmas, and you guys' mindsets is on murder. I just want that to be there. I'm more so, let's bring the family together. Everyone lives. You guys are like, he's gonna die right before Christmas. What screams a good Christmas like
I
murder?
don't care.
I'm
I'm
telling
like,
you,
I don't think so.
Then Laura puts on the suit. Go ahead, Trayvon. Sorry.
You're fine. I do change what I said before about Echo doing it. I don't think it's gonna be her anymore. I think it'll be Yelena doing it, and then she's gonna regret it because she'll find out that she was tricked. That's what I think. That's what I think is gonna happen.
I feel like they're
He's
putting
gonna die.
I feel like they're putting the steps in that Yelena's already starting to figure out that
No,
the shot
she's
she
too
did
stubborn.
take.
She's too stubborn.
she's
too
clearly
stubborn.
not. She went to
She
go
is.
do the digging.
No, she's too
Yeah.
stubborn. She won't listen. She
Oh,
gonna
I
kill
just
him.
thought
and she'll
about
regret
it.
Yeah, I agree. She
Um,
did the digging for a reason. I think she's starting to second guess her mission.
She is.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I don't think any death happens from
But that
Clint.
would be cool though, and I'll tell you why. Because it mirrors what Clint did. Remember the shot he didn't take? It would be the shot she did take, and she did kill him, and she regrets it.
Yeah, maybe that's too poetic.
That would make it much harder for Hawkeye and Black Widow to become friends later on.
Right. It's like you killed the
exactly.
whole reason
More
I became
conflict.
a superhero. Yeah, like
Yes.
no.
I don't see how
And
that.
we
that
want-
More
we
conflict, yes.
Yeah, we want peace.
It'll be more conflict, and then Kate will eventually come around. Like, okay, you didn't know.
This
It-
Black
it'll
Widow
be-
will never be an Avenger if she kills Hawkeye. That's all. I'm
She
saying.
doesn't like a word Avenger. You heard her, right? Wasn't
Exactly,
her
but
name-
but this
What does that
character is
even
going to be
mean?
Black Widow.
What
Is
does
what I'm
that
trying
mean?
to say.
Also, Trayvon, your level of forgiveness is, I think, way higher than most people. You killed my mentor, and it's just like, you know what?
It's
Oh, Kate is very
Kate-
forgiving. And
I mean,
Kate is very forgiving.
only
He
knew
had it
Hawkeye for
kind.
like a week, so
I'm sorry,
True.
she's forgiving.
You'll see. I'm telling you, she's too.
They shared
too
mac
and
and
also
cheese.
gullible, and so like Kate is
They
very
shared
naive.
No,
She's
if
very
somebody
naive.
Brings
that
people
could,
together
if
like
somebody
Kraft
that
mac and
could kill
cheese.
me with rings on their finger told me to sit down and eat mac and cheese, I'd sit down and eat mac and cheese. I'd be scared for my life too. Kate, the first thing Kate said was, "I know you can kill me if you want to." Yeah, as long as you know, I can fuck you up right
No,
now.
she's outmatched.
Don't threaten me with mac and cheese. No.
Right. I mean,
Okay, we'll
that's
talk
why I
about this.
love the way Florence delivered the line of, "I don't have anything that could kill you." And then Kate looks at the rings, she's just like, "All right, fair enough. I could."
I didn't think it was the rings. I thought it was a Black Widow thing on her wrist. Well, I thought
It
was
did look
no,
like
I-
she
I
had
got
one.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
had
the
it on her
widow's-
wrist still.
Yeah, she had
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. What other
widow's
comments we
bite.
got before we move on?
Yeah.
To be fair, Yelena could kill someone even without weapons. Her hands.
Her
Oh,
hands are the
yes.
weapons.
Mhm.
You think Clint knows Matt Murdock? I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me be honest with you, Jay Villa. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you.
Somebody
It was
does.
a small moment, this small of a moment, because they kept making it seem so secrety when Ronan was walking up, as if it was maybe someone else right before he fully steps out of the shadow. Just like, could that be somebody else? Like,
Matt?
who else could that be? No, not necessarily Matt,
Mm.
but I'm like, could that be someone else? And we find out that it wasn't really Clint that did it. And then obviously when you see him step out of the shadow, I'm like, oh, that's 100% Clint. It went right out of the window. So I was like, okay, yeah, small part of me. But no, I think Clint knowing Matt Murdock is too connected. And I don't think that's the connected thread you need. I think the connected thread you need is just Wilson Fisk. That's how you bring Daredevil in. You don't need to connect it that much. That's too much. That's like,
Yeah, we'll see him tomorrow.
like what? Hawkeye knows Punisher too? He just did a sweep of New York and he's like, I know all the Defenders.
Yeah.
Don't give me hope. Don't give me hope. John Bernthal just suddenly walks on stage like in the last 5 minutes.
I'm just picturing right now, Tia wrote episode 6, and episode 6 ends with Hawkeye going, "You think I'm alone?" And all the Defenders come out, and it's just like, yeah, we got it. We got it. We don't have to wait.
I feel
all
Except
very
Steve
called
Rand,
out
though,
right
right?
now.
No Steve Rand?
Steve
No.
Rand.
Not Steve Rand.
Steve Rand.
Danny.
Did you
Danny
make
Rand.
Danny
I
Rand? I'm
love
like,
Danny.
Steve?
I love Danny.
I got the last name.
I'm
I
like,
love him.
dang, Joe hated Iron Fist so much, you just changed the whole character. He's like,
I should have
Steve
just, I
Rand.
don't know why I even went with his name. I was going to say Iron Fist. I don't even know why I went with Rand.
all right. So
It's
Brandon,
okay, Joe.
Brandon's our last comment before I pass it to you, Tia. The last episode of each series seems like new suit episode.
Yep.
Will we get the
That's
Hawkeye
so
suit in episode
Very
6?
much.
We got the new Cap suit and Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
and Scarlet. I keep telling you guys, we've already seen the suit. It's in the promo on the actual page for Hawkeye. It's
I'm
them
not
standing
convinced.
next to each other in the suit.
I'm not convinced that's it, though.
As soon
I
as you
hope
said they
it's
had
not
it,
because
Here's
it
the
kind
thing,
of
though,
looks
Joe.
kind of
You
Why
haven't
because
seen,
That's
you
it.
haven't
That's
seen
it.
him
That's
in that
it.
suit yet.
I'm telling you, he's
Yeah,
going to be
that's
wearing
it.
the mask, too. I'm telling you.
I can tell you right now, he won't.
I'd be pleasantly surprised.
Don't give me hope. Wait.
I'm not. I'm
Yes.
taking the hope away from you, is what I'm
Yeah,
trying
you're right. I mean, give me hope. Give
But
me hope Van Dyne.
but yeah, no, they've already shown him and her in those
Yeah.
suits.
There was
so
no.
there's no hiding. There's no
No.
hiding at all.
I wish they
Falcon
did.
and the
but
Winter
now-
Soldier and WandaVision did hide their suits. That wasn't a reveal till we saw it.
Right.
But Hawkeye, they let us know. As soon as you click on Hawkeye in the Disney Plus tab,
it's right there.
It's
the
there.
first thing
Right
you
there.
see is them next to each other in the suit. So it's like they were never trying to hide that. They're just like,
I'm glad they didn't hide it because it would have been kind of underwhelming. Because
Oh,
to
for
me,
sure.
like I don't like the suit's fine, but it's not like Falcon suit or like
Right.
There's
Wanda
no-
materialized hers.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
no,
like
you're right.
yeah.
But to be
I don't
fair, if you're Clint, you're just kind of like, well, I don't have a really cool thing I can turn into. Ronan was my cool thing to turn into. like I don't have Wakanda building me something cool. So this is the best you guys are gonna
They
get.
have cosplayers building it.
Yeah, someone was sewing.
Cosplay,
That's it.
LARPers.
They make some good shit though. So
No, that's what I was thinking. Like
Yeah.
some of these suits and costumes that these cosplayers make are probably sometimes even better than what the production is on the set.
Right.
So
100%.
then you get this
And-
thing, and it's like, what is?
And
What?
to be
Come
fair,
on.
Jamie, I wouldn't have been shocked. Like it wouldn't have been like, oh, that's cool. But to know that we're getting the actual Matt Fraction suit in the Matt Fraction show would have just been like, okay, I'm glad they did it. It wouldn't have been like, what? This looks so crazy. It would have just been more
That's the
like, I'm
suit.
just glad
Like,
you did
it's
it.
right behind you. That's basically that's what.
No, right. But I think all of us knew that Falcon was going to get
T-shirt,
it.
really.
We just didn't know how good it would look.
Yeah.
But we all knew he was going to ascend into Captain America at some point. So it's just the idea of just seeing how it looks, you know.
Joanne,
But
did you give Anthony Mackie a compliment?
See, Tia, when you say things like that, it makes me immediately want to go to hate. So let me just say, before I pass it to you, I hate Anthony Mackie. Now, Tia, what were your thoughts on episode 5 of Hawkeye? Don't put good stuff in there when it comes to me and him. It makes me sick.
I know. I really enjoyed episode 5. I believe it was Joel who was saying how much he enjoyed it being, it opening with Yelena. I think I was quite vocal about loving Yelena when I saw the Black Widow movie. Again, her outfit is awesome. Her attitude. I love that the first thing the first thing she's concerned with when she blips back is I got to go find Natasha. And I was like, oh, poor baby. You don't know. There was little things that I loved, especially when she's making the mac and cheese and she says that her daddy says that it's good. And I just got happy. She talked about Alexi, aka David Harbour. So I was happy about that. I loved her. Like all of you are saying, I'm just echoing it, that her interaction with Kate Bishop was just phenomenal. I do agree with Joelle that it went on a tad longer than it needed to, but wasn't really mad at it. I just am admitting that. And I really liked it. I liked the scene of Clint going up to the memorial and speaking to Natasha, getting his side of it. That was super emotional. So it's like this episode, while having a lot of humorous moments, albeit like Joanne was saying, or I forget who said it, where you still felt the danger in that interaction with Yelena and Kate, still overall kind of humorous, but to have those very emotional moments with Clint was super important. And I loved and speaking about emotional, I love the moment where, Kate's like, Clint saved the world. Natasha's like, my sister saved the world. And it's just, I'm a Natasha Romanoff fan, so I enjoyed that. I enjoyed this episode. It's crazy to think that we only have one episode left. I just think that while maybe it wasn't the most action-y sort of episode, I think that it was important, and I thought it paused very well in the story just to kind of have these interactions. And of course, I was all right. I kind of ruined things for myself, right? I was like, let me go on. I literally went on Twitter before I watched the episode and saw Kingpin trending. And I'm like, if they are blue balling us like they do all the time, I'm gonna be so mad. And so I wasn't even mad when I clicked and saw the picture. I was like, oh, thank God. So I don't have to watch the whole episode being on edge to be like, is it? And as soon as I saw it, I was just like, he's back. He's back.
I will say you're lucky in that, because part of me was just like, they built this they hyped this episode up like Paul Bettany did episode 5. And I'm like, I'm not seeing it. Where is it? So when they're sitting at the table and I'm just like, okay. And then when she shows the phone, I'm like, what's on the phone? And then when he says the line, I'm like, oh my God. Okay.
Which
you got me. I was scared. You got me.
Which Vincent D'Onofrio is so coy, right? Because what was it last week was when Kevin Feige confirmed that next time we see Daredevil, he will be Charlie Cox, and Vincent D'Onofrio congratulated him. And it's like, I knew at that point, I was like, Vincent, there's something you're not telling us right now. So when we saw that, I was like, I love how coy this man is. I feel like he has pull, or he just knows shit. Because then it's like, then suddenly he's talking about Deborah Ann Wool as Karen needs to be back. And I'm like, what are you doing, Vincent? Tell me.
You know what's funny about that? I don't want to interrupt you, but I saw some earlier that it was funny. Once you see something like this, your mind just starts going. I think I saw her say happy birthday to him. She was like, miss you. And I was like, did you just see him?
Now suddenly you're like,
like stuff like that. Just,
No, I'm totally with you, Trayvon, at this point. And to me, it just doesn't seem like a coincidence. Like, not to again be that person, but John Bernthal even has been talking about it and shit. And I was like, what do they know that we don't know? At this point, I just want to know. Just let me know who's coming back, who's not coming back. But
to be fair, just so everyone knows going forward, now that we've seen Vincent D'Onofrio and we heard about Charlie Cox, John Bernthal will not be able to do any interviews about anything without being asked about this.
Oh,
so he will be.
Are they in the movie together right now? Like Vincent D'Onofrio, John Bernthal, they're in a movie together right now.
Yep.
So
the next time you hear from John Bernthal, you're just like, oh, he's talking about it again. Best believe he didn't bring it up. Best believe that interview.
Of course.
Vincent D'Onofrio's back. So did you bring out your black trench coat and shotgun? We need to get you one. Best believe he's gonna be like, all right, guys, can we talk about this movie that I'm actually in? They're just
absolutely
like, no, absolutely not. You asked Ben Affleck.
This is the only reason you're here.
We only care about that.
Sorry, like
we only care about that. Sorry, buddy.
So what should we call it? I don't know. I thought it was a great episode. I really enjoyed it. As I said, I eat my words that I really enjoy this this series. I enjoy that it takes place during the holiday season. There's just something so cool about it being New York during the Christmas season. It just perfectly fits. And the one last thing I'll say is I don't know. The freaking relationship between Eleanor and Kate is really weird, right? It's like, I get it. Every mother-daughter relationship is different. You know, my relationship with my mother won't be the same as the next person, right? But it's just like, it's so detached. And we all know that Vera Farmiga is a fantastic actress. But every time Eleanor is telling Kate how much she loves her, it's so unbelievable. And to me, that's not by mistake.
Yeah, I mean, look, this show is doing, and that's why I said I kind of felt like it was a little bit rushed in a sense. Like maybe it could have been a little bit longer to kind of fill out a few things. Because I'm like, look, if Jack is somebody important to this series and not just kind of like an idiot fall guy, they're gonna have to do a really good job of making it make sense. Because I kind of really told that character since episode 3, hey, you kind of don't matter really. You'll just pop.
I kind of like that.
But we've done really nothing with you.
I kind of like that he's like this willful idiot, where he's like, I'll be back in a jiffy and everything.
You know what I thought? When he got arrested, the first thing I thought was, what if he's the person that Clint is trying to protect? And they actually do know each other. No, and they actually do know each other. And he's a mole. He's a mole. And the whole concept is if they get that watch and they figure out that he's the mole, they'll kill him immediately.
Oh, the swordsman?
Yeah. What if he actually did have that connection with Clint? And the reason that she knows him is because he's like a father figure to him. So obviously they've seen each other before. They've had dinners before or whatever. So I'm like, that would be the twist that I would accept, that I'm like, okay, I like that. But if you then go, all right, he was really a villain. He's like the bodyguard for Eleanor. And it's just like, but you just didn't do anything to set that up, really. Like, you know, it'll feel so forced. Like, you did no development of this character whatsoever. whatsoever. He just always seemed like he was an idiot. And it's like, well, now I'm not an idiot. And it's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I hope whatever they do with him is either going to span into something else, or if it's resolved here, it's resolved just fucking astonishingly.
I just hope there's more to him than what we've gotten so far. Because I don't mind him being a very aloof, like happy-go-lucky. Because it doesn't seem anything seems to make him angry.
Right.
But what?
No, I was gonna say it's not a bad. I'm sorry. Go Joel.
No. I just think it would be really fun if there's more to him than meets the eye.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea what you were saying, Juwan. And I'll tell you why. He's not questioning where that sword went.
No.
There's like no like, I mean, either he's really just that dumb, but look how nonchalant he was about getting arrested.
Right.
Maybe he is a mole. Maybe he was trying to auction that suit and try to give it back to Hawkeye.
I could just see it as he did Clint a favor by bringing him in when he was younger.
Right.
So when he was falling on hard times or whatever, maybe Clint brought him into S.H.I.E.L.D. at some point, and he's like literally like the last agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually that is still undercover, and he was trying to help bring down Wilson Fisk's entire empire. I'm just saying it would just be cool, and that's more so me just wanting them to know each other than anything else. That's all that really is, honestly.
Gotcha.
But all right, Trayvon, you let me see real quick before we do that. Oh, wow.
Jeremy Renner is actually older than Tony Dalton.
Yeah, I was gonna say it kind of seemed like I wouldn't match up age-wise as far as being mentor and mentee.
Hawkeye technically older than Swordmaster right now.
So you're telling me, Jamie, it doesn't make sense for the kid to take the adult in? No? We can't go that route? Like, Hawkeye brought him in. He had nothing. Hawkeye brought him in.
They could have been mutual, like grew up together type shit.
Yeah, I feel like that would probably work better.
Joel, I'm fine if the whole idea of circus and all that is out, and they're just going the route of they came up together in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that.
Like I said, I don't care, as long as there's something more.
At this point, it would be hard for me to believe that they have like some kind of deeper relationship because of just the way they were interacting. Like, oh, you're Hawkeye. Oh my gosh. Like, you saved our city. Thank you so much. Like, he seemed like he didn't know who he was. Barely at all.
He called him Hawkeye. He called him the Archer.
The Archer.
Yeah, he called him the Archer first.
Though that's another thing. It could have been on purpose that he said.
Could have been.
I was just about to say, to be fair, think of how ridiculous Eleanor and him are every time they're in front of Kate. They're just like overly ridiculous. So I'm like, it just seems like his character is meant to be overly ridiculous.
I guess so. But then Hawkeye totally pointed at Jack and was like, oh yeah, by the way, I had my wife look into it. Turns out Jack is the CEO of Sloan Incorporated, whatever, the shell company. So I feel like he would have probably not said anything there either if he knew him and knew that he was actually on his side. So
or he could have did that to see what Eleanor's moves were. Would she get desperate enough to meet up with whoever she's working with? Because think about how calm he seemed when he was telling Kate, that's Kingpin. That's Kingpin. Like, he wasn't even shocked to see her mother with Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
It was more so just like, that's what I've been telling you. That's the guy. That's Kingpin. So I'm thinking, what if Clint does know a little bit more than he's letting Kate in on? And he was trying to shield her from that. And he was setting up Eleanor by giving that information about Jack to see if she was desperate enough to do exactly what she did, which is lead Clint right to Kingpin.
It's plausible, but I feel like they didn't do enough in the story for me to fully follow that thread and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, it would take me a minute to be like, I guess so.
Yeah, I agree.
I could make that stance about Jack completely. They haven't done a good job.
My problem is the conversation between him and Laura talking about Jack. It didn't sound all like he knew who the fuck he was. To me, that's how it sounded.
That is true. Yeah, Joel, I forgot about that too. I'm with you though, Joel. I don't want him to become a villain or anything like that because they didn't have enough time to build that up.
Right.
It was more. It was almost more like he was in the beginning of the series, he was more just to get the people to think that he was the bad guy,
right.
and cover for Eleanor. But then we all pretty much saw that coming. So for them to rush into the fact that, oh, he's a mastermind or whatever, because it seems like he could be playing dumb, and that's why I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Are you really that dumb?
I'll just say this: regardless of what they did,
Like
they're making by each episode, they're making it more and more frustrating. Of why was this character even in the show? So that's why I'm hoping.
Well, it was to
throw you off.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing. Well, again, we have
Curly
to wait
stash
to see
and
the
everything.
reveal of it. We have to wait to see the reveal of it. Because I tell you this, from the first 20 minutes of that show, the first episode, I'm like, it's Eleanor. I don't even know what's going on, but it's Eleanor.
Yeah.
So I'm
Like, even if it's not, she killed the dad. She's sus.
Yeah,
She's suspicious.
At the very least,
he was always suspect, but you always expected, at least from the very beginning when he got casted and all these, the Sword Master was possibly in this. You were always looking at him as a possible villain as well.
Sure.
It's always like you're focused on him, and now other things are going on around him. And if he's not a villain, you're like, oh, okay, well, they fucking threw me off there.
Yeah. All right, let me read some of these comments. I'm gonna go to you, Trayvon. Matt Murdock might just be a lawyer so far in the MCU. Never know if they'll do a fresh Daredevil origin show. You don't need to. And you don't need to because anyone who has interest in Daredevil, saw the show. They get it. Blind guy, accident, whatever. They get it. Let's see. Something tells me they weren't planning on a Black Widow 2, but Yelena could reprise the role pretty well if they want to do a sequel.
Disagree.
Well, I agree and disagree. I agree in the sense of I don't need another Black Widow movie. I 100% believe Yelena has plans for a show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm more accepting to that because I did not like the last Black Widow movie I got.
Nope.
Just give me a show. Show, as you see with Hawkeye, it works. Because you easily could have made this Hawkeye a movie. You made it a show. Make Yelena's Black Widow a show. So I agree and disagree. But they 100% have plans to use the name Black Widow as a staple going forward.
I will take a movie or a series, whichever, from Yelena. I don't care. Either one.
I'm with you.
I think it'd be interesting to see like what she's doing with the Black Widow operations and stuff. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be curious to see that if once she found out about Natasha, she just was like, all right, forget the rest of these other widows. Like, I gotta go figure out who killed my sister. Like, you guys can just stew. I'll get back to it.
Or after she finds out she was tricked and that she tries to take down what's her name? Yeah. Maybe she gets pissed off about it and then she won't take her down.
Yeah, I think a Black Widow 2 works. Honestly, now that I think about it, now that you guys are talking more and more, Black Widow work. The reason why I didn't like the original Black Widow film was because I didn't really care about Natasha at that point because she was dead. I didn't really need anything from that character. I felt nothing for the character because I already cried my tears in Endgame. Mm-hmm. I don't really care. And then whatever, there's other parts I didn't like about the film. But going forward, a Black Widow sequel would work if Yelena is in the forefront and it's about her, especially going after Val.
No, she will be Black Widow. So anything named Black Widow 100% is about Yelena.
Yeah.
That is her moniker. Just like anything Hawkeye going forward will 100% be all Kate. So it's just seeing what story they go with. Because remember, she has a mom and dad out there. We have no idea what the hell they're doing or what they've been doing. I'm pretty sure.
God damn it.
Yes, I'm pretty sure if he found out who was responsible for Natasha dying, Yelena wouldn't be in New York alone. So it'll be interesting to hear more about a lot of that stuff down the road.
What are they up to?
But Trayvon, I'm gonna pass it to you, man. You had some feelings about this episode, so I'm curious for you to get to it. So bring me in, man. What were your thoughts?
The opening with Yelena was great. I like that. That's about the best part of the episode. So the rest of it for me, okay.
It's just all downhill after that.
I like some stuff. I did like the Kate and Yelena like convo. I just like I just feel like it took too long. It was like, okay, like get to it. We got it. Like you're here, you're badass. We know you can kill her. This was just a little bit too long for me, and she was a little bit too stubborn for me. I was like, okay, like you're not even trying to listen to it. Like, why are you here talking to her in the first place? Then, if you're already gonna kill him anyway, why even be here? Like, what's the point in this? Like, you're not trying to be her friend or anything. Like, what's the point? You just sitting here threatening her. Like, this isn't a comfortable situation for Kate.
Well, also remember her only purpose of being there was to get any information she could out of Kate. Unfortunately, Kate knew not a goddamn thing. So,
if she could track Kate, why didn't she just track Clint? Why didn't she track Clint?
It was also remember what they were saying at the beginning of the episode. How they were saying how we all had this dream of living out Sex in the City in New York and being the best of friends. So I think in that moment, Yelena was just trying to make a friend, but in making a friend, she was interrogating. So once you found out
it was an odd mix.
No, because remember
she was trying to be like good cop, bad cop at the same time.
At the same time,
yeah. But
remember, she even said to her, "Thank you for like the ladies' nights." Like,
and Yelena's a little strange like that because her like upbringing and childhood has been warped. You know, she's not going to have normal conversations. You know, she is going to find this like weird. What'd you say, Joel?
Social skills.
Yeah. She has like no social skills. So it's like, to her, that was like a nice little girls' night, even though it had all this underlying of like murder.
They're going to be roommates. I told y'all that.
I has nowhere to stay. So
sleep around her.
I would love nothing. You couldn't sleep around her.
No.
Bro, if I could
the way she came in there like that, no.
If I could tame a wolf, there's no one else I would want to sleep next to because I would know I don't got to worry about nothing. This wolf got my.
I would never trust her.
I would trust her. I would trust her more than my parents because I know if anything breaks out, I ain't even got to break a sweat. Yelena, you got this, right? There's like 80 of them, but you got it, right? All right, good. I ain't even got it.
Yelena and Kate like being roommates. I could watch like a 4-part like series. 100%.
Now, like I said, after she kills Clint. And then eventually Kate will forgive her for
friends
it.
Then.
I don't understand.
She will eventually forgive her for it because she's gullible and naive.
No.
As she's been showing us
gullible and naive though, Trayvon.
Yes, she is.
She's not.
So, okay, I don't know what show you've been watching, but yes, she is.
The main person she's not looking at is her mother. I think most of us would probably be somewhat naive to our parent that we've known for our entire lives.
Well,
and out of nowhere, they're this murderer.
Okay,
we would be that naive.
I'm not going. Yeah, okay, I'm not getting to that. Okay, so yeah, so I don't trust nobody. Okay, so anyway, so where we're going? Let's get to the next thing. Let's get to the next thing. All right. So I also think about her mom not loving her. I feel like that's very true, and I feel like she's just been training Kate to be a weapon as well. I got a glimpse of that when she got back on the roof and she just shot Maya like right in the chest, like very like no warning, just boom, like. And I felt like she was gonna do it again. So Maya's like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm out of here. Like that was my first indication that Kate could be vicious too. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And I think that's all she was doing. All the things she's been trained in, like not just the bow and arrow, apparently martial arts, everything. Like that's a lot of stuff to be trained in. Yeah, so yeah, I think she's quite vicious herself. Nice. So I think Yelena needs to I know she's badass, but don't try to play Kate like that. I don't think she's that much of a slouch if she really wants to fight. She really gonna try.
I feel like
she's not trying like that. She's not trying to kill anybody, but I think
there's a difference. Yeah.
No. There's a difference between not trying to die, but there's also a difference between if you could not get your ass whooped, you just don't get your ass whooped. And she was getting her ass whooped. Handle it. Kate was fighting 3 people. I mean, not Kate. As Yelena was fighting 3 people at the same time. Like, think about that.
They weren't all attacking her all at the same time. They were attacking each other. It's a 3-way fight.
She was in that mix, and she was giving them all the business. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, threw one off the roof, made one go running home.
At the end of the day, they were all trying to kill Clint, except for Kate.
Maya ran home because she got shot in the chest. But
yeah, she was over.
Maya stay running, honestly.
Yeah.
Like this whole series, she ran away off the roof, and then she saw Kate shoot that arrow. She's like, "Oh, we're not doing this again. I just got this fixed. Like, no, we're not doing this again."
I'm already at a disadvantage. Fuck this.
Kate could have shot her in the back. I mean, which would have been cool.
True.
I mean, but whatever.
Kate don't want to
that's what I'm saying. She's holding back. I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. Like she could have shot her in the back.
Yeah.
So okay, so the Kingpin reveal was for me lackluster. I was like, okay, he's on the phone, cool. Like it just didn't do anything for me when I saw it. I was like, all right. I was like, cool. For me, it's just like, okay, bring in the rest of the defenders. That's all I thought about when I saw it. Yay, Kingpin. I don't really care. I don't really care.
Trayvon.
Sorry, that's how I felt.
You don't even want them to set up a story. It's just like, here's Kingpin, end credit scene. All the defenders at a table.
I just hope they give us. I just need some, I guess, backstory of the connection next episode. Like him just popping up is nice. It's like fan service for me right now. For him just to show up.
I'm sorry. Who just showing up? They already set
Kingpin.
up.
No, they didn't set him up like that. Like they didn't. It's just little teasers here and there. I want
the whole purpose of him
a tangible connection. Like
Echo is his tangible connection.
Okay, all right.
What am I missing?
You want to hear him talk?
He wants a character that he's already been connected with, though. Like Echo is somebody new.
Something.
Yeah,
I want something.
Well, you're not gonna get that
real.
But if you want to,
that's why Kingpin is it that
you have that. Hawkeye knows him. He knows of him. There's your connection there if you needed that.
Okay.
But you just got Wilson Fisk back, and Trayvon, you're already. That's what Kevin Feige was talking to in his interview with.
Brandon. That's what he's done to us.
I just gave you guys this, and you want more?
Yes.
Like relax. Let me get there.
I've been burned in other seasons, so I'm just like
you've been burned one season.
You can't keep that hurt.
It's gonna stay there. Hopefully tomorrow fixes it with this movie. How about that? Let's see.
Why are you putting pressure on stuff? Like,
you
want Spider-Man to be your first aid kit? Why is Spider-Man
like 3 Ralph Boners are coming out of that portal tomorrow? I'll tell you
that. If that's what you're looking forward to, you should probably lower your expectations if you're hoping for it to remedy that.
I already said that I didn't like that Yelena was so hard to like she wasn't listening.
Hard-headed.
I mean, but it's fine, whatever. And I just feel like Jack is just an idiot that likes swords.
I like swords.
That's
Trayvon, I can agree with you on that one.
I just think he likes swords, just idiot. Like
I like swords,
and that's okay. And that's okay. He can be an idiot. It's fine.
Yeah, not everybody's very smart.
He's an idiot savant with swords.
Definitely an idiot.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do. Like I said in my tweet, I was like, I just want the next episode. Like, this is cool. I like the characters. This episode just didn't do much for me. So I'm just excited to see what they do in this finale, how they tie it up, or if they give me more questions. I'm be like, where's the Echo show? Hopefully that's probably what they'll do.
Pretty sure what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Probably me hanging. I'm like, God damn it, where's the Echo show at? But yeah, I mean, that's all I got. I mean, sorry, being a downer. Next.
I keep telling you, not a downer. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But as far as Echo, I can see that just being a loose thread. Like us just getting a concept of what her series will be about, but no pure indication on exactly like this is what it's gonna be. Because there'll probably be some changes and whatnot. But it'll be a direct lead between Fisk, Echo. That's that series. And that's where you can maybe get all those other fun, cool stuff between now and then.
Urban Canaroni.
I hope not. Please don't do that, Echo.
I mean, it happens.
You're gonna reverse it.
Yeah, you're gonna reverse it. Like,
that'd be interesting.
Also, you can't do it at this point. It's like the guy in that suit killed my father, and now I want to be in that suit of the guy who killed my father. I tell you this panel has a higher level of forgiveness than I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I tell you
Go after him in the suit that he sent for her dad.
Exactly.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Poetic justice.
That would be something for sure. Look, it'll be mainly interesting because what is Echo?
Clint, I give it to her. Where you go?
No, Clint is smart. He'll set that shit on fire.
He hasn't done it so far, so
it doesn't burn.
The jury would say he's not smart.
You know what?
Retardant.
Let me lean into that, Prime. Let me lean into that. I could see her trying to moonlight in the sense of she doesn't show her hand here. So Clint tells her, if you use this suit, he'll think it's me and he won't see you coming. And that's maybe what she does. I could see that for sure, to where she's moonlighting. So she's still in it. So he doesn't see it coming when she finally does get to him to get some of those
You'll
answers.
never see me coming.
Exactly. And we didn't. We did not see that ending coming. That's for damn sure.
Wow.
But yeah. So as far as you were saying, Trayvon, I do think the ending of this will be more so clear where Clint and his family goes, where Kate goes, and then seeing how Kate ventures off to be a part of whatever the 3 actual Avengers are. I guess that's Captain Marvel, Wong, and Bruce. I guess that's really it right now.
To be clear, I don't want him to die. Yeah, to be clear, I don't want him to die. I just think he will. I don't want him to. I think he will though. Yeah. I just think that's what's gonna happen.
I swear to God, that sounds like a contradiction. Like, I don't want him to die.
If I had the choice, he would live. But I feel like where this is going, he's gonna die. That's how I feel.
You do have a choice. You could speak him not dying into existence.
The show's already written.
I think he's dead.
Okay. All right, Jamie, before I pass it to you, and
I will call you at like 6 in the morning if he dies.
If he dies, my phone will be on. I won't want to speak to you.
He dies.
Burner phone.
Let's see. Trayvon's getting greedy. Hopefully the Spider Nation doesn't get greedy and start to release the Spider-Verse for the MCU. Yeah, we've had enough of that. So avoid that. Goodness gracious. Oh, that put me down the dark. Okay, I'm passing it. Joe, what are your thoughts on this episode 5 of Hawkeye? Goodness.
Okay. All right. Oh, look, there's not one bad episode of the series. I'm just gonna say that, and I'm also gonna say I still believe this is probably the best series that we've gotten out of the Marvel shows on Disney Plus. That being said, for being the penultimate episode, I was expecting more. I also agree the Kingpin thing was a little lackluster. I was happy to see it. I was hoping for a scene, but look, we got what we got. I'm sure we're going to get something more next week. But as far as the other things, I know the scheduling with COVID and whatever. I know it did interrupt the way these things were released. So that's the only thing I can give them as far as the benefit of the doubt goes, as far as timeline things goes or whatever. But I still stick with things seemed a little weird. Even though I did like the fact that we see her getting blipped in and out, like Joel says, they do show us something different every time. With Monica, it was her getting reconstructed back from the blip. This was her going, and then like it's showing us as the audience, it's literally a second time for them, but literally 5 years for us. So I did like that moment, but the first thing I thought of when she came back was, but wait a minute, what about the end scene in Black Widow? What about Val? Like, it's even stated in that end credit scene that Val and her already have an established relationship. She's already worked for her. She's on holiday, visiting the gravesite. Her not getting a paycheck for doing this, being on holiday. She was already a hired gun at that point. It just seems a little crammed. But anyway, we'll get to that. I also agree. I think the scene between her and Kate was great, but very long, a little longer than it needed to. But I don't know if you guys caught this, and I'm glad they did it because they're doing it for people getting set it up for tomorrow's movie. She does make the comment visiting the new and improved Statue of Liberty. Already showing that.
I heard that and I'm like, I wonder what you meant by that, and just completely did not think about Spider-Man coming out.
So I was like, oh, that's a Spider-Man reference. The whole fork thing, that was funny, but they ate out of the same pot and there were bowls everywhere. That annoyed me. There were bowls. Literally.
Wait, now that you said that,
there were bowls.
Oh, now that you said that, wasn't Far From Home? Didn't they say that was like a year later or something like that after?
No, that's literally like maybe a month, if that.
Because it was the summer. It was like
it was the summer, right? They just got back.
Right.
And it was the summer vacation, right? I think it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a summer vacation. Yeah.
I could have sworn it was like
they went on a trip during
after.
the summer.
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't that much.
There's definitely a time gap between when he
came
revealed,
Far From Home.
Right, from Far From Home to the end of No Way Home. There's definitely a gap there.
Yeah.
Because it's like the winter. It's like winter in No Way Home.
No, I mean Far From
talking-
Home from Endgame.
Okay,
Far
no,
From
there's
Home
not
from
that
Endgame.
much time because remember, he
months.
goes back to school at the end of the movie.
I need to do a timeline.
And this is a summer trip. It's a summer trip. So school
Summer
must-
2024. That's
Right.
when they said they had their summer trip.
right.
But-
So
that was a year later, then, right?
Yeah, but that would mean this is also,
That means this is a whole year later.
Yeah.
So then, if that's the
December
case, then there's your whole.
This is December 2024 then.
That's
Right.
what. Look, it's supposed to be December
Right.
2024, but they never show you the year.
They never show. They cover the year.
They cover
Yeah,
the year.
I seen.
For
I
her
seen
missing
the,
the
when
Statue
they're
of Liberty.
outside when she's getting the
earpiece.
hearing aid
Yes.
replaced.
Yes.
There's a what do you
Chinese New Year.
Chinese right? Yeah, Chinese New
It
Year.
says
Something like that.
2024
And it
on
says
it.
year of the whatever, but yeah.
Yeah.
But they covered the year
They
up. So
covered
if
the
that's
year.
the case, look, if a full year has gone by, then yeah, my gripe is invalid anymore. Then
but I
it makes
didn't
sense.
know we didn't know that. I thought you were saying even with a year past, it still seemed
No.
that's like the
I
thing,
was
like,
literally I was
it's
saying,
like
wait a
2
minute, they got
months.
blip in October of 2023, and this is just a month and a half or 2 months later.
Yeah.
oh no.
Okay.
The
so
only
this is
thing that
2020
close to the blip return was WandaVision was a couple weeks.
Right.
That was
Yes.
literally like right after
Right
it.
behind it. Yeah.
Everyone left her.
I thought we were still in
Everyone was just like,
2023.
"Hey, we got families, Wanda. My bad."
Also Eternals, right? Eternals too, right?
Yeah, that couldn't be that far.
Eternals.
off.
Eternals was
Yeah.
within a few weeks because I remember she was saying because of that just happening,
Right.
it started the 7 days.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh,
Somebody
Yeah,
somebody
so-
needs to mention that thing in the ocean then.
That's coming. Oh, that's
Like
coming.
somebody needs to mention it. Like
What do you think? What do you think the name Grills is going to give the dog? We never hear it.
Lucky.
Lucky.
Oh yeah.
You think it's
He
going to be
never says
Lucky?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the name of
'Cause
the
he's
comic.
like, I've been thinking of a name, and he never gets to tell him.
I think he's gonna say I got because remember he told Clint that. So I think he's gonna tell Kate that, and she's gonna go. I already
If
named
you're
him.
scared of anything, I think Grills in the comic book dies.
He
So,
does die. in the
Oh
comic.
no.
you know, I don't want him to die in this, but I'm
You know
just
what's
saying.
funny, Joel? The first thing I said to myself was when Clint went to Grills' house and spent the night and said,
Ah.
"Can you hold the dog?" They're gonna go there thinking Clint's there, kill Grills, and then
Yeah.
Hawkeye's gonna see just the dog laying there.
Lucky dog.
Yeah.
Just don't kill the dog.
or
No,
Hawkeye
no, I don't
jumps
think
in front of him getting killed and gets killed instead.
I don't think they're gonna kill him.
Are we gonna have a John Wick moment?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No, no, no,
It
no, no.
happened.
Disney,
Now you're forcing
Disney really
it.
has stayed away from that. Disney doesn't really kill animals and like that.
No, there's no way.
They
Besides
say
Old
no
Yeller.
John Wick.
yeah.
Besides
But
Old
yeah.
Yeller.
Yeah.
I think the end
But-
credit scene. I think I'm going to predict the end credit scene. Yelena is going to be unwrapping a Christmas gift, and it's going to be a box of Kraft mac and cheese.
Oh,
know-
that'd be so cute.
She's going to know it's from Kate.
Be the
You
collapse.
know what? You know what? And if Kate is really a good friend, should have a fork inside, like
Yeah.
A spork. A spork.
It should be a story.
They could
you have a
a
set of them
spork and
inside.
some hot sauce.
Yeah,
Because
some
Yelena
sriracha,
made
yeah,
it
some
very
sriracha.
apparent that she loves hot sauce.
Yeah.
She gets you a whole silver
Sriracha.
set from Target, man. Like it's gonna all be wrapped. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's wonderful. Love that.
Did it not bother anyone else that we did see Kate's entire place get set on fire? Yet it didn't look like that whole place. was-
Yeah, no, the front looks fine. I forgot until we got to the back, and I'm like, oh yeah, it did burn down.
'Cause I'm like the fact that she was able to cook the mac and cheese. I'm like, where? The whole place was on fire. What still works in there?
The apartment. She just used the apartment.
Conveniently.
She literally used the apartment to heat it up.
She went downstairs to the pizzeria. She's like, hey, I got a bowl of mac. Can I just real quick?
You mind if I use the stove real quick, guys? Sorry, upstairs is crazy up
But I don't want to borrow a fork. Please, no.
there. Right, no forks. No
And
forks.
no bowls. Although there's, like I said, there was like several bowls behind her.
We eat out of pots. We eat out
Yeah.
of pots where I come
We're
from.
gonna share this pot.
Yelena's a survivalist. She doesn't need bowls. Okay.
Minimalist. You know, whatever
Yeah,
she needs.
exactly.
Right in front of her.
She's like,
Don't you judge?
"Bowls? What?
Which
I
is
eat out of
squeeze
whatever
phone
the
being
food-
crap.
Did you want to add anything else, Joe?
No, that's it. Like I said, I really wish there was a little something more, if anything. And I hope I don't get any hate for this, but if anything, if I had to define one episode as a filler, I would say this one is. I don't know why.
This was more
It's not
so
bad.
like
Though. It's not
I
bad.
think this was like a setup. Like if
I'm
you're
not
playing
alone.
volleyball, this was hitting it up for episode 6 to spike this thing home.
The episode that's the thing though. Episode 6 has to spike it. If not, then this
Yeah.
Putting all
I
the
said in
pressure
the YouTube
pressure.
comments, I kind of felt like a lot of the and I see Joe commented the
I
same
said
thing
same.
that
Yeah, a lot
a
of
lot of the
penultimate
penultimate episodes for these Marvel series have fallen a little bit flat in terms of like really hyping people up, or at least hyping me up. So yeah, I do agree with that, Joe.
Here's the one thing we can all agree on though. It's the surprises of the episode 6s that make it all worth it. He Who Remains
Sometimes.
in the last one. Seeing Falcon in that suit. Everything else I could throw in the garbage, but that suit was beautiful.
Yeah.
Seeing him in that suit was beautiful. WandaVision.
I didn't
that
like the
whole
cow. I didn't like the
episode-
cow.
That whole
I like the
episode
cow.
6 sequence of WandaVision was great. I even loved when she was talking to Monica and she's like, he wants to see you. And she's like, who? And she's pointing out. I'm like, that's Fury. She's going to Fury. Like, so much of that was cool. Seeing WandaVision. Seeing Wanda, at the end doing the whole astral projection while she's just drinking
The
tea.
flying away. The flying away.
Like she's watching herself go to work while she's just drinking tea. Like, yeah, you do all the heavy lifting. I'm here. I'm relaxing. I'm on vacation. So I'm like, episode 6 does usually save it for these series because something really cool happens. So look, Trayvon, we could get what you want. We could get Wilson Fisk talking, because I know that's big for you. Talking. And get this, Trayvon.
Him doing something. Yeah, sure.
Might even name drop Daredevil. You never know. You never know, Trayvon. So you could get that moment you're looking for. All right, Jamie. End this out. What were your thoughts? And you got to stay positive because Trayvon already brought in all that negative. So go. I'm joking. What are your thoughts, Jamie?
I did like this episode better than the last one. I actually thought the last one to me felt a little bit more like the filler episode than this one did.
Okay.
I think they're both kind of, I guess, on par for my level of enjoyment, but I feel like I got a little bit more out of this one. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was funny. Like, it starts off with Yelena like spraying Anna with like the red dye or whatever to like wake up the widows, and I immediately thought to myself like, damn, she just ruined her carpet. And then Anna was like, do you see what you did to my carpet? I was like, yes, Anna, we understand each other, like, finally. So that was funny. What else? Let me see. I've like got the episode pulled up. Let me go.
Was it? What was it? 20,000? Is it a $20,000 carpet?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't even hear it. Oh,
I'm pretty sure it was like a 20. Yeah, so she had every reason to be.
It was living.
She's
good.
like, you guys don't know how many villages I had to kill to get this carpet. Now I got to go kill more people to get a whole nother carpet. It's ridiculous, Yelena. Come on now.
Oh my gosh.
It was expensive. Maybe 20. Maybe I'm just pulling that number out of my ass, but
No,
I'm
I think
pretty sure it
that's
was
what they
something like
said.
that.
It might have been.
It was expensive.
Because I tell you what, ain't nothing in that house from Walmart. That's what I tell you. 20,000 makes sense. That makes sense. That's for sure. Go ahead, Jamie.
So then getting to the part where like Yelena like wakes up from the snap, I thought that was really interesting what they did with like her kind of like waking up scene with like, because like with Monica, when she kind of comes back from the snap, like the hospital didn't really change too much, so we can't really tell like, oh, it's been 5 years later.
To be fair, well, we would assume the hospital wouldn't change all that much.
Right.
But
True.
To be fair, remember they did a very close-up shot and then widen the shot after she formed back. So it could have been shifting around her, but they were focusing on just her face. This was to show you that things don't stay the same over the course of 5 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was to show you she's changed her house. Like maybe she decorated, like she
for the
painted.
worst, to be honest. I did not like what she did 5 years later. I did not like it.
She found a man and lost all her tastes.
Yeah, she did.
It was so much
She
better
got
before.
soft. That's what it was. She got soft. She got real soft.
And pick that color.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
he had
that
to
was
pick
bad.
that color. There was no way that was her choice. No way.
Clearly, she
I don't know,
has
maybe.
taste. We've seen the house.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? Dang, I got completely off track after thinking about that. Yeah, to see her wake up from the snap, I thought was really cool. And then like her interacting with, I think is Anna's husband now, I guess. And like, okay, something I did. There was like a small black child
is
Yes,
there.
yeah.
And I was
Yes.
wondering, did they adopt or
Yes.
She said
Yeah,
she
that's what
have
she
some?
said.
Okay,
That's what she said.
okay.
They
I
adopted.
must have
Yeah.
missed that because I was just thinking, whose child
Well,
is that
they-
for the
they
also
longest
look-
time?
She also looked like
Jamie
Moon
was
Girl.
just like, on which one of your murder rendezvous did you just say, I'm going to take this black kid home? You want to
Take
come
him
with
home.
me?
Yeah, like what is going on here? Anna, first you paint the walls green, now you just have some random child. Like what's going on? I don't know.
He came with the new paint.
Oh wow.
Right.
Oh no.
Right, it's like the
That was a
kid.
bad
The
deal on
kid
that
came
one.
with the kid came with the remodel. It came with the remodel. I got a good deal for it.
Mm.
Holiday deal.
Do you think it was on
Um,
purpose, that hairstyle? It looked like Moon Girl, but I just thought it was funny.
Reaching. That's called reaching.
I'm just saying, those look like.
You can pull your shoulder doing stuff like that, Trayvon. Careful.
Dang.
That's what she looked like.
That's a funny thought. The next scene is like her going to her mom and like them seeing or Jack getting arrested, and Jack was acting very strange. Like even like as I feel like a lot of like we were all saying like he's kind of like the dumb character, but even if you're playing dumb, I kind of feel like you wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna go for a walk with these cops, going down to the jail.
Well,
I'll be back in a little bit.
To
he
be
gave
fair,
me
though,
privilege
I don't
rich
think.
to me. Privilege and rich. That's what he
Yeah,
gave
I
me.
that is
also
true.
don't know, and I might have missed this, so please correct me, but I don't think they ever said what he was being arrested for. They just said, we're taking you downtown for some questions.
For the
So I think in
Sloan,
his mind, he's just like, well, I know nothing, so this will be quick.
for that company, the Sloan.
It's like, you know,
Well, he did say I would call too.
He's like, I
Yeah.
never.
Yeah,
I
he
never,
said, yeah.
Yeah,
I never worked a day in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
He
said that
did.
too.
And I'm
I
being
was like,
They were talking about
what
his
a life,
taxes or
what a life.
something. So I don't know if Eleanor forged some like tax returns.
Oh
or
no,
something.
she
I don't know.
100% set
His
him up.
name
But
is
I'm
on
saying,
all the
as
shit.
far as,
Yeah.
as
They
far as
have
he
money.
knows, he's just going in there for some questions that he'll give very simple and quick answers to, and he'll be right back home.
I don't
That's
even
what
know
he
what
was
Sloan.
alluding
No.
to. That's what he was saying. He's like, I'll be right back.
What did he
You know
say
what's
about
funny?
the Sloan he knew? What was the line he said? He goes,
said it was-
Oh,
a woman
Sloan
that-
was
X.
the woman
Yeah.
that he dated
It was just
somewhere.
horrible.
Yeah,
So
and
shit.
didn't turn out well.
yeah. that was
Saying
fun.
Joel?
No, you remember when Armand said he had friends? He had friends in high places too.
Yeah.
Who was he referring to? If her friend is Kingpin, who's his friend?
That's very interesting.
Queen Pin.
And guess what? We'll now never know. We'll never know unless
Maybe
those
little
friends
Armand
are
knows.
Jack friends.
Maybe yeah, Armand the 7th.
Yeah,
Like,
he's the new head Armand.
Oh man, that's
Wow. Maybe we'll see him again at the holiday party. I don't know. I was kind of
Jack's
thinking
not
about it.
going. Jack
Oh,
will
Jack will be there.
100% be
No,
back.
little Armand, not Jack. Jack's definitely missing the holiday party.
Little Armand is really like 35. He got blipped.
Oh wow.
Look,
maybe
Yeah.
30.
we could see him literally anywhere. Clearly, that widow likes to just take on people, so she could maybe went and got little Armand, and she's training him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she did.
Possible.
Yeah, she did.
She took him. Joe knows. All right, go ahead.
But yeah, Jack getting arrested, it felt a little bit strange to me. And then I'm kind of getting on a level with Trayvon where I'm like, how do you not see, like, your mom was clearly madly in love with this dude, and I was like, oh, serenade and like Avenger house call the same day, like, oh, it's so exciting. And then like your man gets arrested and you're just like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe you did this. Oh my gosh, Jack, whatever, you're out, you're not invited to the holiday party anymore. Like, put that tux in the closet because you're not coming. So I don't
it was
know.
very staged. To me, it was just like, but then I thought about it. I'm like, she is very smart. She could have tracked Kate's phone to see where she was. And it was just like, all right, she's on her way home. All right, let me call the cops real quick. Like, all right, arrest
Yeah,
him.
maybe.
Look, and it was a whole show. She was just like, look, Kate, I did it. I believed in you.
Yeah.
Look, you're being
Were
arrested.
those
Like, you
fake
were
cops?
right.
Were they fake cops?
Who knows? No, because one of
Mm.
them was one of them was the actual cop that called Kate. In the,
Oh, okay.
Oh
Black
yeah,
people.
that was another thing I thought about. She never went down to the station.
That's
I thought we were
true,
gonna
yeah,
see a
Turns
Jamie.
out
scene.
never did. But that's
Yeah.
the funniest
She's
part.
rich.
That
She's
cop,
rich.
that cop comes to arrest Jack, sees Kate, and just goes,
What
"You're
they want.
lucky I'm here for him. You're
Mhm.
lucky." All right.
Like,
But yeah,
honestly,
that
you should be
was the
getting in
same
the car with me.
Yeah, that was the
Probably
same
even
cop
went
that
down
called
there.
her and said, "Hey, can you do me a favor and come down here?" And Kate was just like,
I forgot about that though. Jamie.
Yeah.
Like,
fact
hell
that she
no.
I've been
went
thinking
back.
about that for the past couple episodes because there was one episode where they did the recap and showed that scene where she was talking with him on the phone. Like, okay, she's going down to the station this episode, and just like never happened. I'm like, oh, okay,
Nah,
cool, I
never
guess.
thought she was going. Yeah.
That's privilege right there.
I guess, yep. I don't know. This is why I just like wasn't thinking about it, because I'm just like, I've never been in this situation where I just be like, yeah, whatever, I'm not going.
I didn't know you could do that to cops. I didn't know cops could say, hey, can you come down? And you're just like, no. And they're like, okay. I
actually have something to do today. So
well, she wasn't arrested, so technically, I mean,
it was just conversation. Yeah,
it didn't come and get her.
But it seemed like he had wanted something from her, information wise, that either he cleared up himself or just said, you know what?
Hey, you can't be asked questions if you don't show up. It's as simple as that. That's it.
I guess so. If only bills and bill collectors work that way, right? Like, if I don't answer his call, they can't do anything to me.
If I change my number, I don't owe the money. I've tried it; it doesn't work.
Now they can contact you on social media. So now it's just like, damn it, I can't hide from you. But go ahead, Jamie. I'm sorry.
Before Jamie goes on, Joanne, are you sure those are bill collectors and not bots? You might want to be careful. Just saying.
Yeah, I should be careful 100%. It's Eleanor. Eleanor knows I'm close to figuring her out, so she's trying to get me caught up. I know what you're doing, Eleanor. But no, go ahead, Jamie. I'm sorry.
So yeah, the next thing was Yelena talking with Kate in her burned down apartment, which it was interesting that Yelena thought to hang out for her there. Like, I don't know. If of all
Russia,
the places,
it feels homey, you know.
Maybe, I don't know. I did agree.
To our Russian fans.
Wait, hold on, really quickly, Jamie. Just really quickly before you go into that. I thought that was weird because Eleanor said, "Go get your stuff and then come back home," but she had been staying at her aunt's. Mm-hmm. What stuff is still at that burned out place that you went there? Mm-hmm. I did think that for a second. I was just like,
I did the same thing. It made no sense that she went. I was like, why is she back in her apartment? What, unless she was going there to find something specific, but it was never. Maybe, it was never told.
She didn't have nothing there, really. She kind of grabbed everything.
She already had
it was burned.
Yeah, when she came back, when everything got put out. So I don't know.
Yeah, weird.
I guess she was in the neighborhood.
If it wasn't burned up, it definitely got water damage.
100%. It's gone. Whatever she went back there for.
Except for a box of mac and cheese. It's fine.
Yep.
Clearly,
that's scared to use that stove. But yeah.
Clearly, Yelena wasn't. Don't nothing scare Yelena. You ain't learned that, Trayvon? Fires ain't taking down Yelena.
Yeah, she eats reindeer. She doesn't care.
Yeah, but also, Trayvon, you got to remember, there's only one thing that kills that family. It's cliffs. Anyway, go ahead, Jamie. What were you saying? Too soon? Okay, I'm sorry.
It just hurts every time you say it. It's just you specifically. That's why it hurts so much.
Hey, it's 2024. We can say it.
But
when we move on,
I don't know. Only time will tell.
She already did.
I do agree that the scene where Yelena was talking with Kate did feel like it went a little bit too long. And it could be one of those things where it's like it's supposed to feel awkward, so you're supposed to kind of like linger on the feeling, but I was kind of done lingering after a bit. Mm-hmm. I feel like they're, at least where they are now, their personalities kind of clash because they're both like really big, like expressive personalities, I feel. So it'd be interesting to see like how they're going to work with them on screen like later on once they do possibly work something out. But yeah, for right now, it felt like very, like I wasn't sure how to feel about it. I don't know. It felt very long. What else?
That's for sure. That was probably the longest conversation I've ever sat through. It was just like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. Now that I'm looking through the episode, this conversation goes for a really long time.
It was a very big part. Yes. That's why I said filler. Yes. That's the only reason why I said filler. Because I was trying to instead of watching the whole episode while we were on, I just basically went through the timeline with the mouse. But a big portion of the episode is them talking in the apartment.
Yeah. And now that I think about it, I think somebody was talking about it earlier, that she was there to get information out of her, or to get, Yelena was there to get information out of Kate. And she waited. She took her sweet time to wait to ask anything about Hawkeye till towards the very end. And I understand this was like her girls' night or whatever, but if like even half of the conversation was kind of like, hey, I'm new to New York, like give me some things that I can go, like when I go sightseeing, give me some things to do. And then the other half was like, okay, why do you trust Clint? How long do you know Clint? Do you know Clint did this, and that? Like, I feel like that would have been a better balance than just kind of like slipping the Clint stuff at the end, because it just felt like she was kind of there for a house call. And then Kate was like, okay, really, why are you here? She's like, why am I here? Because you're friends with Clint Barton. I'm like,
to be fair though, Jamie, that's a Natasha move. That was how Natasha would interrogate. Natasha would string you in, walk you along, and then right when you're just like, I gotcha, Natasha's just like, nope, I got everything I need, and you have a good day, sir. And you're just like, did I just tell her everything? And it's like, yes, you did. So
I feel like it would have been smoother if like her questions about like sightseeing places have been like places that her and Hawkeye had recently been. That way I could be like, oh, okay, she's getting little bits of information while making it seem like a casual conversation.
No, but I do think she was being honest. I think she really does want to explore New York, and she was being friendly. Because she doesn't have friends.
See, I mean, yeah, that's cool, but it's like, really? After you just tried to
we just went from gun to your face to like
no.
You know?
Hold on, stop it. You just said Yelena can kill her mentor, and then they just forget about it and make up. Now you're naive. You trying to kill me. That's where you draw the line.
Not that fast though. Like this just happened the night before. But okay, for me, and another thing I wanted to say, one thing I forgot to say about that convo when she was like, "You know how many people he's killed and the blood?" And I'm just like, "Weren't you a killer too?" Yeah. Like you are innocent.
That's not the conversation.
You are innocent, but she's not innocent either, though. Like I didn't understand that. I was like, you make it seem like he's this terrible person and you've done nothing.
The other
thing, I didn't understand that.
Out of the two people at that table, the one that had all the information was Yelena. So what was she really interrogating? Because whatever she wanted to find out, she could have found out in other ways.
Exactly. But remember, she did not know that Kate literally knows nothing.
If she thought at that point she already knew everything.
I don't know. I feel like the only way to rationalize it is she went there to get a test of Clint's character. Because I feel like she already knew that she didn't know Clint for long. Mm-hmm. But the fact that she really didn't get any questions about Clint's character out there, like maybe one or two, I'm like, why were you here other than just like hang out after you just tried to kill her or like really hurt her?
Well, after fighting her, you realize this girl is defending him. Why are you were sacrificing yourself for him? Is basically, I think, the reason she went to question her and also find out where he's at.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's why when she found out, like, oh, you know nothing. Oh, all right, I'm out. Like that's what she's just like. All right, let's zip line out of here.
Which is warn her, don't get in my way.
Right. The way she zip lined out was hilarious because if you remember, that's the front of the building. So that means she just zip line in front of like all the world to see. She's like, give a fuck, zip line right out the front window.
Well, according to you, she didn't have any problem scaling a building in broad daylight.
Because I'm like, I have to imagine her looking up instead of walking in the hotel to follow her. Had to be her just saying, I'll just zip line up here.
I was just gonna
roll right up and
jump out the window.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. I've seen enough Mission Impossible movies.
How many appearances in the MCU before she loses her Russian accent? Like Scarlet Witch did. Like what's her face did?
Scarlet Witch was almost immediately. Yeah. That was almost in the same movie she had it in.
But do you think it happens though, or you think it just that's her character? No. That's it.
I say no only because hers is so thick. Like even when Quicksilver, his was so thick. Mm-hmm. It's just Elizabeth seems very shaky. So this, I think, is something that you can't just lose. You know what I'm saying? It's so thick. She sounds Russian. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's more important here. I think with Scarlet Witch, a lot of us have just said, you know what? Pick a lane. If you just talk in English for the rest of the time, I'll be fine with it. Don't flip-flop. I'm watching WandaVision and she's flip-flopping and I'm like, you're driving me crazy. Pick a lane and stay in it. I'm fine with whichever one you go to, but you got to pick a lane. So I think she'll. I don't think that'll be a problem with this.
Okay.
Not at all. Go ahead, Jamie. I'm sorry.
And then I think to wrap up with like the last couple of scenes with like Hawkeye's kind of encounter with Echo. I don't necessarily want to call it I guess it kind of was a fight, but I don't know.
It was a fight.
It was a fight, but it wasn't as vicious as it could have been, I guess.
He would hold him back. He
didn't want it to be, and she was more interested to see why he wanted to meet. So it was more so just like, if I get a chance to kill you from Echo's side, I will. But I am very curious why you would think it's smart to meet me knowing I want you dead. So I think it was just curiosity on both ends. More so him trying to get her to understand and her trying to understand what the hell is happening here. Like,
yeah.
Like what?
I was kind of, I guess the only reason why I was kind of like, oh, like I kind of thought the fight was going to be a little bit more is because I thought that Clint was possibly going to kill her, at least like badly hurt her when he showed up. Only because like it seemed like his wife's like, yep, get her done. Like, do what you gotta do.
Yep.
And so like just sent him off. Like, okay, so Maya might, I don't know, like she's got a show, so you know she's gonna be around for a little bit, but who knows like what other ailments she'll have when she's in it. And then to see that they ended up talking, it did make it a little bit more interesting to me to say like, hey, like, you know, we're kind of the same. We're both weapons. We're just pointed in different directions. Like, you got to think about like who's doing the pointing. And then from there, like, you know, if you're still mad at me, then whatever, we'll handle it when we get there. But you got to figure some things out because there's things that you don't know that you need to like get caught up on. So it's kind of interesting that they kind of like tied that thread there and like tied Kazi to it as well, where I don't know. I'm a little conflicted with that as well. Like, I feel like Kazi is kind of like the perfect man to feel like, yeah, Maya's dad is at this location. But at the same time, it also seems like he really, really deeply cares about her. And I feel like if he cares as much as I think he does, I don't think he would set her dad up to be killed. Or maybe he didn't know that was going to happen, but I don't know.
Or maybe he did know it was going to happen. And the guy that told him to do it is capable of smashing your brains out in a car door. So that's usually a really good motivator.
Now he feels guilty.
So,
really quick, because Jamie brought something up that I totally forgot about, but that's actually another thing that I thought was a little off. They already established in episode 3 when Echo and him meet for the first time that he really has no idea how to sign or what she's saying. So how is he able to communicate?
No, that was a swerve. I think that was a swerve. I think that was him not showing his hand. I think at that point he was, because think about this. Nothing kind of drives home fear more than the unknown. So now it's just like, well, shit, what doesn't he know? What can he do necessarily? Go ahead, Joel.
I took it differently. I think he knows very little, was using very little, and she was reading his lips.
Yeah, she was reading his lips for a good bit of that.
Oh, no, he was, but he was also signing through.
But he was using...
Not him like signing. Broken. No. Because that's easily fixed. She's just reading his lips. Even if he didn't know how to sign. How did he understand her is what I'm saying, because he didn't understand what she was saying in the warehouse.
Oh, he was reading he was reading her lips.
I don't think she was mouthing any words.
She doesn't mouth anything.
He was mouthing.
He could read a little bit, I can imagine.
Yeah, but those are some big words. Like, he only really knew "give me cookie."
That's how he know. He might know. Like, he might understand it better than actually, talk it.
All right.
Like, if someone does it, I can read it. But
we do know that with people that speak different languages, like some people that are born in a household of the language can understand it, but they can't speak it worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? So it is very possible that with sign language, you can maybe understand some of the things, but you might forget because you got to hit on some of those points for what you're saying to kind of really come through. You know what I'm saying? So it is possible that it's like, I can put together what you're saying and I don't like it. Like, I kill you. Okay, I understood that.
It did show that he knows a little bit. I mean, obviously, like full-blown conversations. He probably couldn't stay there all night talking to her. But, that wasn't, he knew enough to get through that conversation.
He knew enough.
I'm trying to look at it right now. It doesn't look like she's making like too many words with her mouth. Like, it looked like
it's more sign.
It's more like she's signing and then she's also making like facial expressions. Like, I really mean like this is what I mean. So I don't know.
I don't either.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. And then ending with the Kingpin. I also thought the Kingpin thing was like underwhelming. I was more so excited for you guys because I know you guys are like, yeah, Kingpin's finally here. I only saw maybe a season and a half of Daredevil, and I was more so into Luke Cage, and then Luke Cage took a turn for the worse, and I dropped a lot of things after that.
No Luke Cage here. No Luke Cage.
Sorry, it went to trash.
Okay.
It really did. It really did.
Okay. After Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
The first season, obviously.
Okay. but
Yeah.
Cheo, who
Jamie, you got to finish it.
Cheo,
Yeah,
who
I'm
created
going
the
to.
show, is a
I
good
will.
friend of
I
ours.
did finish it. It's still.
Bushmaster was really good though. Bushmaster is good.
Bushmaster was
Okay.
freaking epic.
Mm.
But Jamie, that's a cardinal sin. You got to go back and finish Daredevil.
For sure.
Oh, Daredevil's the best.
Daredevil, yes.
You
Okay,
gotta at
yeah,
least
Daredevil.
finish
Yeah.
Daredevil.
No, yeah,
You
yeah.
can't
yeah.
blame Luke Cage's downfall for Daredevil.
I don't. I think it's just because I was like bouncing between the two, and I was like, oh, if Luke Cage went like this way, then I really like Daredevil, and I want to keep it that way. So if anything bad happened, then I didn't see it.
Where did
To
you
be
stop?
fair, that was not a consistent recipe for all the shows. It was a
Yeah.
recipe, but not a consistent one. It was spotty. Like one season of Jessica Jones, me personally hated it. She had 2 solid seasons. The beginning and how it ended, right? Daredevil, straight through. Iron Fist, that second season
It's
was
good.
great. It was really good.
Yeah, Jamie,
Okay.
where did
Cage
you
season 2 was
finish?
really good.
Where'd you stop?
I want to say it was a little after he actually got the suit, like his real suit.
So this is
So-
season one.
The ending.
Oh my
It
god.
might be
Oh
season
my
one.
god.
It might be season
Season
one.
two is my
Season
favorite.
one.
Season two is my
Okay,
favorite.
okay.
So
I
wait,
hasn't
so
catching
when
up.
we
to
say the name Punisher and John Bernthal,
No,
which-
I did see
Yeah.
Punisher. I did see Punisher, and I actually watched the Punisher movie after. I don't know. Maybe I did see through. I don't know. I just remember I did get to see Punisher's character. I'm like, oh, I really, really like him, and I ended up watching a movie because of it. Because I'm like, oh, Punisher's so dope. But
I'm sorry, hold on. So you saw Punisher in Daredevil season 2, and then you skip over Punisher's actual series, and then you go right to the movie?
I didn't watch Punisher's actual series because a lot of I don't know. I feel like I was hearing a lot of bad things from like
I'm
the
gonna-
Stop
Netflix
listening
Marvel
to people.
series.
Yeah, don't
Yeah, that's the ultimate lesson of
Hold
this.
on a
I shouldn't
second.
be listening to other people.
I'm gonna side with Jamie. I'm
Listen
gonna
to
side
that.
with Jamie because Daredevil
What?
season 2 is my favorite out of the 3.
Really?
That's because of Punisher. Punisher's
Well,
a
yeah.
series by himself. I hate it. I didn't like it at all.
Oh my
no.
god! I
Did not like it at
love
all.
that series. Both of them.
What?
I did-
Oh wow!
I did not
See. This
like-
is why I listen
It's
to
so
people.
divisive. It's so
I-
divisive. Look at this.
Well, I
Season
told you,
two
I
of
was
Daredevil.
Interesting.
a little disappointed in Punisher too.
I can tell you this, as someone who loves Punisher Warzone more than anyone on this earth, both seasons of Punisher are better than any movie.
Oh, that's right. There was
ever
2
existed.
seasons. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I forgot
Punisher
about that.
was
Yeah,
great.
both seasons.
I don't know.
They're better than any movie that is.
I didn't hate him, but I was a little disappointed. I'm gonna leave it at that. It
I was disappointed in season 2, but season 1 was phenomenal.
That's
I
because
remember me and
loved
Joel
it.
watching those when we had screeners in it, and it left us off at the cliffhanger, like in the
Yeah.
middle of the season. We're just like, oh no, what? Like, what the heck?
I love Punisher
Yeah.
season 1.
I-
I
yeah.
don't know.
Jamie,
Okay.
please watch it. Please watch it.
Hmm.
Joe,
I will.
At the end of the day,
Jessica Jones was the best show. Sorry.
well, if Daredevil doesn't count, then yes.
Yeah.
exactly.
I say Daredevil.
Whatever. I don't know. No.
Hold on,
I
I want you to get
Jessica
mad right
Jones
now.
first.
Daredevil's the best ever.
Trayvon, if I'm even going to be honest with you, it literally goes season 2, season 1, season 3, then Jessica Jones season 1, Jessica Jones season 3, Luke
Yeah.
Cage season 1, Luke Cage season 2, and then Iron Fist. I can loop in 1 and 2. I can loop them both in.
No,
Loop
you
both
can't
in.
put them together. Season 2 is way better than season 1.
It sure is, but it's very.
And there's
No,
a
I'm
reason
with
why
you, yeah.
season 1 had
Okay,
issues.
season 2, then season.
Yes,
Everybody
there
complained
was.
about.
Yeah.
I give you
Well, we know that season 1 of Iron Fist had the same showrunner as Inhumans, so that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
Also, they filmed. They didn't give enough time to train to film before filming.
And money, they were cheap. You know,
I saw
stuff out,
season
but
2.
And the
Yeah.
fact that we never saw him in his very easily affordable
very
costume.
lazy with the costume. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of shit you can go with.
I mean, there are 2
I
characters.
still like them though.
Sorry.
I still like
You
the
had-
I like
characters.
them too. I like them a lot.
You had 3 characters whose costume department probably only cost you $50 at Walmart, and you still managed to not make it work. Luke Cage was literally just a yellow shirt. Perfect. You did that.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones is just a jacket and jeans. You did that.
Yeah.
Iron
Easy.
Fist is literally pajamas, and you found a way to avoid it. I don't understand.
He wore the mask for like 5 minutes throughout the whole series.
Whoa! Anyway, Jamie, please go back and watch the Netflix stuff because a lot of that will at some point be in the MCU. And if anything is from it, you at least need to know where some of it's coming
It's a good reference. Like if you don't want to read a
Mhm.
comic book, it's
Mhm.
decent. You know, you watch it, you learn some shit.
Frank Miller. Yep.
Yes, 100%. All right, guys. So tomorrow is the release of Spider-Man No Way Home. Please, everyone, listen to me. I'm very serious. Log off of YouTube. Log off of Twitter. Log off of Instagram. Log off of Facebook. Me and Trayvon have seen people on YouTube that are filming the movie and putting it in parts on YouTube.
They are. Yes, they
Oh
are.
no,
They're
the people
having-
from the UK already?
Yes,
They're
and
assholes.
they have the thumbnail as certain scenes.
Yes.
So it'll ruin it for you.
Yes, and the
Just
auto plays.
scrolling
And the
through
auto damn
Yeah,
plays.
I don't.
Got the suit ready to
So-
go.
Let's go.
Okay. Nice.
Oh my
and
gosh.
here's what you guys don't know. Joe is canon to Spider-Man. Because
Which one?
remember the scene where Peter throws his suit in the garbage in Spider-Man?
Yes, Joe picks it up.
Joe
I
went
saw
and
that.
picked it up.
I
And
knew
that's
it.
how he got that. That's how he
knew it.
got that. It's
And
still
a slice of
Spider-Man.
pizza too. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah. Joe just was like, I'm dumpster diving today. But no, so it comes out tomorrow. Please don't get ruined and don't ruin it for anyone else. Okay?
Got it.
Allow everyone to have their time. But for you people that like to extend when you see movies, your deadline is Sunday. Monday, I'm posting everything everywhere. Got between Thursday and Sunday. Make it work. Make it work. That's not me. Make it work. 4 days is enough. Sorry. All right. So please do stay tuned. We will be breaking down this movie this weekend.
Mhm.
Okay, Saturday or Sunday, probably Sunday night. We'll be breaking down Spider-Man No Way
Oh, it's not
Home.
gonna be Sunday night now.
Only because my team played Saturday night.
I was going to say, I know you weren't doing it Saturday night, not with that game, bro. I know.
Not with that game. Not at all.
Well,
Well,
who's playing? Who's playing? What's going on?
You know exactly who's playing, Joe.
No, I honestly
You
really
know
don't.
the
The
I really
Patriots and the Colts.
Patriots and the Colts.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know why I thought you were talking about the Knicks. I'm sorry.
well,
The Knicks
if
do play
I,
also. That's a double
Yeah.
whammy. Look, Trayvon, look. We could do it Saturday night. Just someone else has the host, and my
I'm
video
getting-
will be off.
I'm getting the booster on Sunday, so I'm like, I don't know how I feel.
I
Mm.
see.
I don't know how I feel about it
Not
night
being sick that night.
Yeah,
I see what
So,
you're saying. I see what you're saying.
I had planned it.
We'll
because of this.
figure it out
Yeah.
because my entire livelihood relies.
And you know,
on
I got my
that.
top 5 Christmas movie thing Sunday.
All true.
Day two.
Okay.
We're not
gonna-
gonna figure this out on air. We'll
Which
figure
is
it
gonna be
out.
on.
I'll let you guys know. But
All right.
Oh, Mr. E asked if it'll be a live breakdown.
yes, we will go live when we do it. Yes, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, we will be live to do it. I miss all the Netflix shows. I still know some of the plot points. Malcolm, enough. Get out. Get out, Malcolm. I know. Get out. Oh my goodness. Oh, get out.
I wonder how that is though. Maybe some people didn't watch them. That's got to be interesting.
You missed
That
it.
has to be terrifying.
Not-
You're looking at
like
this,
not
not even
seeing-
knowing what you're seeing.
Honestly,
understand
I don't
it.
know. I feel like the way that Marvel and Feige is going to go about it, they're probably going to do some like reintroductory stuff
Yeah.
anyway. So people will
I
be
think-
caught up.
I
no
think they
matter
have
what.
to. I think they have to.
I'm sorry, Jamie. I'm sorry, but that's not your hall pass. It's not your hall pass to skip out on great television.
No, I
Watch the
agree.
Netflix shows, even if it has nothing to do with the MCU.
Yeah.
See, I mean, yeah, but he also can't force anybody to watch those shows since they won't.
Of course I can.
Not on Disney Plus. No, I'm saying us. Yeah, we'll recommend it. But I'm saying for the MCU, you can't be like,
Yeah.
hey,
Why
go
wouldn't you want to watch it?
You can't.
Somebody else's company.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you
but
can't.
Kevin Feige's, we know he's not going to do that. The same way when
No.
he introduces
Yeah.
Fantastic Four and X-Men, he's not going to tell you to go back and watch those movies. He's
Yeah.
going to make it his own, but you shouldn't ignore.
Yeah, but they're on Disney Plus. You can. Yeah, why not?
Can't watch on Disney,
Disney
Plus.
Plus
You
stuff.
You also
now.
can go to Netflix and watch those.
Yeah,
shows.
but that's a different company.
That's a
You can-
different platform.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
get
take-
you, but
yeah.
I'm saying nothing stops you from watching it just to
Sure.
have a
The
conceptual
mouse
idea
stops you.
on what
The
you're
mouse.
looking on what you're looking at. But all right, guys. So make sure you guys go see Spider-Man No Way Home sooner rather than later, so you do not get spoiled. And please make sure you guys tune in to go to Just Your Average Joe on YouTube. He'll be breaking down Hawkeye episode 5 this Friday night.
5:00.
And
Nice.
Prime, tell them where they can find you at, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I see y'all are on TikTok now. Y'all are putting me to shame. I don't even have a TikTok.
Well, To be fair, it's mostly sources doing. He's turned into a TikTok giant. I'm just on there occasionally with a couple of funny videos, whatever. I think they're funny. I don't know if they might not be. But mainly right now on Facebook, the Sports Bar Podcast. So,
Make sure you guys check that out. So you guys can hear Prime talk about New England's win this Saturday. So make sure you tune in Sunday when they usually break things down. All right. So thank you guys. And also Jamie, Swiper,
Yes.
were you just on Twitch earlier?
I'm thinking about streaming tonight. But I'm very behind on my upload. So I put up, I think, episode 3, my thoughts on What If episode 3. I uploaded that earlier today. So if you have not seen it, or for some reason you forgot what happened, I am here for you.
You know what? There are those people who have not seen any of the Disney Plus shows. Like, y'all apparently aren't watching the Netflix shows. So allow Jamie to break all that down for you newcomers on the Disney Plus shows, especially What If.
I'll have some perspective now because I've seen all of them. I can be like, oh, this was connected to that, blah, blah, So it's a different kind of review. Retroactive review. That is
when you have all the info, Jamie. Yeah. So I expect to be hearing from Shekinah that she started Star Wars Clone Wars, and I'm gonna expect to hear from you that you started those Netflix Marvel shows. And Trayvon, you're not off the hook either. I saw you get real quiet. Watch the Star Wars cartoon. But all right, guys, I'm actually gonna go watch Venom: Let There Be Carnage for the first time.
Okay.
Nice. Wait, really? I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't see
that. It's a classic.
I didn't see it. Look,
wow, you shaming me about not seeing the shows. I at least caught up on the movies, Jawan.
Well, look, that was passable. I at least know all I needed to know. You need to watch all those Netflix shows. That's more than just one thing. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. You guys were amazing in the comment section. As always, we appreciate you. Please come back this weekend. I'll just say this weekend. I'll let you guys know what day specifically. Closer to that, it's closer to the weekend. But thank you guys for joining us. And please make sure you follow everybody here that I told you about. And you guys have a great night. And please, can't wait to see what you guys saw to Spider-Man. So till then, peace.
Peace.